mercy to those problems and help us as leaders to ease the suffering of those that are in our charge. As I always ask, guide our words, our thoughts, and our actions, and thank you for all that you do for us. In Jesus' name, amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Agenda changes or adoptions, I don't think we had anything added or deleted.
Well,
Just
the
no minutes.
review of the minutes.
Minutes.
Yeah. So we will take review and approval of minutes for January 8th off. We don't have those yet, and my pen won't work. There we go.
There's one other change to, under number 1, removing the contract review board order number 2025-107 for sole source. We don't need a sole source.
Oh, okay, and that's for the
Drone.
drone, okay. So just take that off.
No, just, you're gonna put drone
Well,
purchase.
Drone is on there.
You're just gonna change it.
Oh, just, okay, we're just doing it, we're just doing it under normal contracting. Okay, sounds good. All right. I'll change number 1 to purchase approval only. All right, citizen participation. This is for anything that is not on the agenda. Okay, is there anybody online that has anything? Nothing? All right, we'll go on to scheduled business. First up, Veteran Services, Rick Gloria.
Awesome. Thank you.
See, I told you.
For seeing if you, hey, one, pass those back. Well, we better get started. I only got 15 minutes and I've been known to talk for like 30 minutes instead of 50. So we don't want to do that today. So essentially, county commissioners, public staff, thank you for allowing me, the opportunity to share with you our daily operations that we do in taking care of our veterans population and their families. And that being said, so I am Rick Gloria, and I am the Baker County VSO Veteran Service Officer. And thinking back, I can believe I've been here already 10 years, 3 months. I think about it every time I go to work, and I told my wife, man, I feel like today was my first day of work. I mean, it's really enjoyable what I do, very rewarding, gratifying. I cannot say enough about it. And my wife says, you need to retire at 67. That's another almost 3 years from now. And I said, oh, wow, I want to go crazy. I want to be a snowbird. I hate driving. So essentially here in Baker County, I can honestly tell you that at any given time, we have at least 2,500 veterans in Baker County. Right now, I can tell you, I manage right now 1,877 veterans. About 450 of those veterans belong to other counties. And I don't mind doing that. That's helping them out. I got the right tools, equipment in place, and that's, to me, going over county lines. Of course, my focus is Baker County, and I'll take care of Baker first, and then any other veterans that reach out for help and their families will do that. So as far as services that we provide here, services, anything that deals with VA veterans services, whether it's medical, education, whether it's filing claims for disability compensation or filing for a VA pension based on a financial need, those are big. Those are big. I just cannot say enough about that. And of course, sometimes there's a lot of things that are not VA related, but the veteran needs help with. You know, hey, I got the right systems in place. Let's set up an appointment. Let's see how we're going to get the result or get to the bottom of the situation. Transportation, we are so remote here in Eastern Oregon. Everything's so far away from here. VA, we got our main VA at the Boise VA. We got a satellite of the Boise VA in the Caldwell VA clinic. Back west on I-84, big VA, we got the Walla Walla VA Medical Center. And then we got La Grande VA Clinic, which is a satellite of the Walla Walla VA. Okay, so those are two different individual VA systems. If I have a veteran that comes to my office and says, Rick, what do I do? Well, first we got to get you medically situated. We're gonna get you enrolled with the Boise VA by request that you be assigned to the Caldwell VA clinic. Main thing is getting in the system. They go for the first appointment, blood work. About a week and a half later, they go for their follow-up appointment to be seen in person by their assigned VA primary care provider. If a person cannot go to make the trip, we can always make arrangements so that the VA doctor can give him a phone call and do an interview over the phone. And guess what? They save the veteran a trip all the way to Caldwell. But by doing so, the veteran now is officially in the VA system. So then what we do next, we transition the veteran over from the VA to our local community, whether it's St. Luke's or St. Alphonsus or our independent doctor, Logan Frederickson. We get him approved through the VA so that they can get services in the community. And guess what? Cut down on the travel. That doctor locally gets an authorization that's good for 1 year. He provides services. They bill TriWest. Whatever TriWest pays is considered payment in full. Yes, there could be a copay. It depends on the veteran's percentage that he's service connected. Any veteran that's 50% or higher, guess what? No copay for medications, no copay for any medical service. And I'm talking any medical services, whether it's cardiology, neurology, as long as it's properly coordinated, you can be there. And I do have a mobile office in place. If for some reason I have a veteran that cannot come to my office, I can pick up and go to their place, their home of residence. As long as I have connectivity, internet, then I can take whatever I do in my office, I can do while I'm on the road. Okay. Now, because of COVID, guess what? We stayed away from that. But also the VA did us a favor. They went ahead and approved us the use of a printed digital signature that we can create over the phone and apply to official VA forms. So now I got veterans that I have never seen that I got them service connected because we've been using this digital signature. The VA has not taken that away from us, and hopefully they won't, because it's been quite a resource for my office. Okay, next slide. And as far as getting the word out to veterans, when the Baker City Herald was locally here, we used them constantly. Now they do business with the Oregonian. They get published once a week, which is Wednesday. We do have an article that's run every week there. We also use our local Health-Kenyan journal in Halfway or Richland, one of the two. And guess what? We've been getting a lot of hits from veterans up there. Last week, I got a veteran that came in. Rick, I saw your ad on the paper saying, guess what? We got him in the system. That's why I say, at any one time, there's at least 2,500 veterans in Baker County. And not only just active duty, but National Guard soldiers that are deployed and come back from deployment, they are now considered active duty. So now they get those benefits too, whether they got hurt or or if they need medical services, we get them enrolled. So it just keeps growing and growing. I have a lot of veterans that we don't see it here at our level, the county at this level, they don't see it. But they come knocking on my door, Rick, I just moved from another state, or Rick, I just moved from another part of Oregon, and I'm here, I need to get situated locally. We get them on the books, we get them situated. And so those are, one of these days when we have a current census, hopefully we'll capture the right number of veterans that are out there, but it's always hard, on a census to pinpoint how many people we have in the county. A lot of word of mouth. I depend on a lot of word of mouth. Now I stopped advertising on the local radio station because word of mouth, veterans, they talk to other veterans. What do you mean you haven't seen Rick? You need to go see Rick. Okay, they come in. Well, the local theater, we got a little ad going on there. I went to the movies to see Reagan, the movie Reagan, and I saw my ad and I said, well, wait a minute, that's the wrong address. So we fixed it.
Oh, good.
Of course, housing challenges, this is nationwide. And, we do have our share of housing challenges, but we do have the right partners in place that we're always trying to see how we can do better to help our guys, our veterans. And of course, it always comes up, what about the Baker Veteran Village that's being developed? Well, they were supposed to be completely open and operational, fully housed by the end of September 2024. The last update that I got about a week ago from the housing, the Oregon Housing Authority, the Northeast Oregon Housing Authority, was that now they're looking at the end of May before those houses become available, and you're looking at a total of 12 apartments. 9 of them are 9 individual single room, and 3 of them are 2-bedroom apartments. And HUD will be managing those apartments, so I have nothing to do with it. I try to get involved. They say, Rick, this is not your lane. You stay in your lane. I said, okay. So that's what's happening there. I bring this up. Veterans that served during the different wartime eras, Korea, Vietnam, Gulf War. And the reason I bring it up is in order to qualify for a VA pension, you must have served during a wartime era, not in combat. You could have been stationed in the US, but as long as you were there at least one day during your service, you qualify for a VA pension. Once again, it's based on a financial need. So let's continue. And this year, these are for veterans, whether they're single or married, housebound, aid in attendance, the different levels of the pension. And once again, a pension is based on a financial need. The only thing we can apply against their gross countable income, whether it's individual or veteran and a spouse, is medical expenses that are non-reimbursable. Premium for Part B Medicare will always be there, so there's one. If they have a supplemental health insurance, those can be expensive. There's another one. And maybe they got medications, maintenance medications that they gotta take every month, every day. If they pay a copay, there's a medical expense. But I see that even when we apply those medical expenses, it's still not quite enough, because essentially you gotta be living in poverty to qualify for the pension. When it really makes a difference is when the veteran now needs a lot of medical care and they have to be admitted to an assisted living facility, and they are not cheap. Minimum $3,500 just to get your feet inside the door, and then based on the level of care, it goes up and up. Very expensive. And so that's for the veteran. The veteran passes away. Guess what? Now we got a surviving spouse, and a surviving spouse also is entitled to a VA pension. And here's the different levels of the pension for a surviving spouse. And we have a lot of pensions that have been approved by the VA. Okay. And then the last slide that I want to share with you, and I'll briefly go through that. This is VA federal expenditures just for Baker County. And they know it's Baker County based on the zip code of Baker County. And so I started keeping this data, tracking this data on January 1st of 2015. And you can see I closed it on December 31st of 2023. So that's a total of 9 years. The next column to it, those are veterans. The number of veterans that the VA provided services for that year, and total cost is a combination of all medical expenses and also money in the form of disability compensation or a VA pension that the veteran got. And so, and you can see we're missing 2024. We don't have 2024. The money has been paid out, but it's not out there because it won't be available until June of 2025. So total cost, the column number 3. And when I say total cost, I got 5 areas that I break it up in different federal expenditures: disability compensation, VA pension, medical services, whether at the VA or in the community, education, and then the last one I just call miscellaneous, whether durable equipment, like getting a motorized wheelchair, building a ramp, getting a hospital bed. Column number 3, for the last 9 years, total expenses paid by the federal VA was almost a little shy of $201 million for Baker County alone. And if you look at 2023, column number 3, total cost, $30,696,000. I'm going to be conservative for 2024, and I'm going to say you can add another 25 million to that. So 225 million. CMP, compensation and pension, total money being paid directly to the veteran or a family, like a surviving spouse, a little bit over $106 million. That one, I'm going to say we can add another 12 million to it, being conservative. I know it's going to be there. And so, and you look at this and you say, oh, wow, those veterans are doing good. But truthfully, if we just had 3 veterans in Baker County, only one is getting either compensation or pension. The other 2 are getting medical services. And of course, the one that's getting money, compensation or pension, they're also getting medical services. That being said, if there are any questions, that concludes my briefing. Okay. Supposed to be questions. Very good. Thank you.
Well, thank you. As always, you do good work, and we're very happy that you're our guy.
Yes, sir. Hold on.
Thank you.
There's your question.
So there it is. Like the way. I'm gonna get back to my office. So
Back to work, no retirement for you.
All right, we'll go right into contract review board. First up is drone purchase approval.
You want me to speak on that, or?
Who do we
I
have?
certainly can.
Yeah, if you want to, or I can.
So the weed board, or committee, or weed, my gosh, I just reading this, other thing here. The Wolf Committee met, and, we have, some non-lethal funds available at the state level. This is for drone purchase. It's an American-made drone. Skidio is the brand. It's going to be used by Wildlife Services. Non-lethal for hazing, mainly wolves, but can be used for whatever type of hazing they need. But for the majority right now, it's wolves. This has the capability, lights, sound. Is there thermal on it? I think there's thermal on it.
This new updated quote that I got yesterday, they actually took the spotlight off.
They did, because it wasn't efficient, and the other light that they wanted was over $2,000 or something like that. And I said, that's something that they can add on later. So yeah, the first draft, this has gone down twice in price. This is a rare opportunity there that, the prices are actually gone down. Is there, and this is within our grant money. So either use it or lose it by
So,
the 31st.
okay, so there's no cost out of the general funds.
Oh, no, no,
Absolutely,
no.
okay.
This is all state wolf, grant money, non-lethal.
And we have someone that can run this then?
Yes, Wildlife Services.
Okay,
Has a couple
Okay.
of
So-
people.
that are certified, okay.
Does
Yeah.
Baker County end up owning the thing and then letting them use it?
Yes.
Is that what the plan was?
Mhm.
Okay.
Because the way it worked out with them being at the federal level,
They can't,
well, they can, but there's a few things in there that we worked out through the Wolf Committee that makes this
yeah,
a better deal. It's basically, and it's through the Wolf Committee,
right.
using those state grant funds for non-lethal.
Yeah, we had talked about it with those guys over, we were at the AOC conference and they'd kind of gone over the plan with me real quick at their table. And I think that's a good idea. I think that's gonna work.
Well, they have one now, but it's, but they share it. So
Right.
for a non-lethal agent here in Baker County, he
And-
has to go over, get it and use it and everything, where he's normally out there 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, sitting on cattle and, ready to haze them, haze the wolves out.
Well, and then they're more restricted on what they can purchase. than We are.
No, we are too. We
we?
cannot purchase off of those grant funds, for anything that is not American made.
Oh,
So that's
okay.
where DGI was out.
Okay.
And then after the training, through the non-lethal agent for the, drone training, went back to Virginia or something like that, Mississippi. And, they were flying American-made drones that fit
Good.
what they
Okay.
needed, as far as, sound and things like that. They can actually talk into it and say, "Go away, wolf." And other things. And there's videos online that, show demos of, teams using drones on wolf packs. And without the sound, they were just looking at it like it was a toy. Like, when is it gonna come down? You know, like a normal dog
Right.
would do with a Frisbee. But, once they added sound and a few other features and the thermal, it also will, not only for hazing, but so say if you're, out in the Durkee area, Lookout or something like that, and you know that there's wolves around, but your, that landowner has a drone that only has a 20-minute flight time and only, you know, this distance. Wildlife Services can use this to go up and find the wolves instead of them doing range riding or whatever for anything particular like that to find them. So
What's this one's flight time? Do you know?
it's
It's in here somewhere.
probably in there. I want to say 45
Okay,
minutes. They did include some accessories that they wanted and, batteries, but not a whole bunch of extra batteries because they do last. And, sitting around, who knows if they would be good when they
yeah.
needed a replacement. So
Is
Um,
there money for like replacement parts and stuff?
later down the road, or Wildlife Services, you know, we have CIG funds that comes from, Western Landowners Association. Then we have the state funds that, come for non-lethal. Both of those could be used for
Sure,
that.
okay.
So we take all the asks together and, it's not often that we do a really big one like this. A lot of times it's flattery and flashers and posts, and now I think we're looking at a noodle man. Not noodle, but a noodle man out there.
We're gonna
So-
put his picture on it.
It's- It's just a poster of you.
Non-lethal.
They know that wolves are afraid of you.
If you were to shoot it up in the air, you could, but for the most part, non-lethal.
So you ready for a motion?
Yes.
I was just wondering, because they were talking about, you know, only sending one pack of extra propellers. Probably they'll do those pretty quick.
Sure, I don't know. I know that we've had ours for a long time and only once when Russ hit a tree and then it went into the river in the backyard that we had to replace a whole bunch of parts.
It's user error.
Right.
And he came in wet, so, in January, so, yeah.
Okay.
So I'll make a motion to approve the purchase of the Skidio times 10 or X10 drone accessories and starter kit for $14,081.20.
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Saying none, all in favor, say aye.
I,
Aye, motion carries.
do we need to include the order number in that at all?
Oh,
No.
Are we
was
okay?
it- I was reading the,
No, because we're not doing those. It's just a purchase now. We don't need the order.
Heidi, right? We don't need the order number because that would have been, okay.
Commissioner, what, oh, bid
Grant
award for
coordinator.
grant coordinator.
I left mine down in my office, but I looked through it yesterday and the,
Wait.
um,
No, that's not it.
it's something you should know because I talked to Donnie about it because she's the one that's handling this grant right now.
Yeah,
And nobody had contacted her or reached out to her to, converse with this person. But, in looking at the two, and I went over this with her yesterday, because, I said, if you have any concerns, because she wasn't consulted in this, then let me know. And she saw the, one from Pendleton,
Mhm.
and she said, oh, she knows what she's
She
doing.
does,
Yeah.
yeah.
And that would be her
Mhm.
choice. The second one to me looks really great for just being general grant
So that's
writer.
That's
Well,
what they put in for.
yeah.
So in our RFP, we said you could do the transit
Yes,
or the just general grant, or you could put in for both.
yeah,
So when I confirmed with them, SK Consulting only put in for the transit portion. And then Early Bird Grant Writing, put in for just general grant research. So we only have one respondent to the transit and one for the general grant.
So it's actually two different. They're only doing,
yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I just understood from what
So I
Heidi
have a
said.
question in that request, and forgive me because I can't remember. Did we ask for a certain amount or is this a dollar amount? Was how it was presented?
That was my other, I would like to say, on the first one where they said, 25,000, they can't just bill 25,000 on that grant. And this is one thing that I went over with Donnie. I mean, that's what we said. We actually said up to 30,000 available, but it's gonna have to be billed hourly. Or they're gonna have to bill out for their, if this travel time beyond 25, $300 a night, but this should state up to 25,000. And because I don't want.
Oh, because here
Her
it
to-
says $65 an hour on the back.
Yeah, the way that it says here, it's 25,000.
Okay.
It should say up
Up
to.
they have their price breakdown on the back. And they
Yes,
go
I
up
saw
to
that.
24 for,
24,468.
Yeah.
And, yeah, because when I looked at this, I was impressed that she's already done this.
mhm.
She has, just so that we're clear that that's gonna be billed as, and it's
So
not,
we'll bring a contract back. and-
Okay.
And make sure it's spelled out. in the
Okay.
contract.
okay, for up to.
And the 25,000 is what we have budgeted in the
Right.
transit program.
Okay.
I thought we had changed that to 30.
In the
In the-
thing that was presented, it was 30.
It was 30.
Donnie increased it to 30.
Was it?
Yes,
Probably when we put out this RFP, it would have 25,000.
Could have been.
that may have
yes,
been the
yes, I agree with you
difference.
because we did that in December. Because she had to submit, to ODOT for the pricing. So I'm fine with both of them then, with that clarification.
Yeah, so just to be clear on the early bird, we weren't going to do a percentage of the grant amount.
Yes, each
Everything
grant,
else is going to be,
yes. So that's, they're contracting to be the grant writing services, and that is a percentage per grant.
but we have down $40 to $75 per hour. Is what was presented. That's why I was asking.
So do you want to clarify how that will work with the hourly
With the grant
wage?
writer.
So
for
the
the-
grant, yeah, so the grant writer that's not the transit one, I thought we were gonna say up to a certain percentage of a successful grant. And in here, they're presenting $50 to $75 per hour, $40 hour travel time. And things like that. So that's
Yeah.
what I was just concerned about.
So I guess it depends on the grants that you guys, or, 'cause I'm not sure which grant we're going to use this person on. so-
Right.
So I mean, are they gonna go out and find the grants? That's my impression, was they were gonna go out and help find the grants?
If you read through what they're saying there, they said that they would meet with all the department heads
Mhm,
and then formulate a plan. I know that, people in this group have done a lot of, OSFM grants.
Oh,
and
I don't have a problem with that.
emergency
Yeah,
management
these guys are
stuff.
great, but I just wanted to understand the whole funding piece of.
Right.
Mhm.
I'm not sure how I'm not sure how you guys want that structured. So if you want it coming directly out of each department that goes and uses those services, or if the county's going to, I think at the last meeting, you guys had talked about putting some money
Yeah.
in upfront. And then.
Okay.
But that's, I didn't know what to put in a staff report for that because I wasn't sure either what
Our
you guys. wanted.
initial plan was to throw in seed money to get this program started, and then the hope would be that the admin fees off of that would take care of the main portion of the work that they do, so. But as far as what we asked them to do, I think that after we contract with them, that is determined later after they meet with the department heads and.
I'm fine with the company. I just was concerned about the funding process.
I see your concern
Yeah,
with that, especially like the $300 per night per team member, if they have to travel outside Baker City, overnight outside of Baker City.
That
conference
includes your
training,
meals.
et cetera.
That includes all the meals and stuff.
But that, I
Yeah, it's a
don't,
lot. So,
well, if they're working on, a fire marshal grant or no need to travel, maybe if they're working on, if they're capable of doing a great big multi-million-dollar grant like the Department of Energy, that would be different.
I think I like the idea of both of them and then work on the contract negotiations later. Can we do that?
with this
That's what-
company, I think that for the transit, we're fine. I think that with hers, we're
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
That's pretty clear,
Yeah.
and not muddied at all, but this one I think needs to be clarified.
Yeah,
Um,
and you would do that when you negotiate the contract.
Just, Bakerville Fire just hired them to write some grants as
Yeah.
well.
Who did?
Bakerville Fire,
Bakerville.
Oh,
they just
Yeah.
hired Early Bird.
Okay.
To write some grants.
They've been successful.
and how are they funding them? Are they upfront with just the hours and things like that?
Don't know the answer to that. I thought it was a percentage
It probably,
And
yeah.
that's what I thought we were
doing.
going to
So,
do because so many grants will allow for admin fees. So somewhere in there, it has to be not to exceed the allotted admin fees within the grants.
So can we approve them subject to contract negotiation?
Sure.
Um,
I think it's gonna benefit.
Oh, absolutely.
Even if
That's
we
where
do,
we
I think
had a
we're
lack.
missing,
even if
some
we
things.
do put in starter money for them to go on the hunt for,
and maybe the
Specific-
first year we do that and then,
right, and that's what we had talked about last year.
After they talked to the department heads, how much did we pay for the DOE, for EDC DOE chance? For that person out of Bend? Was it 30? I thought it was like 30,000.
Could we, I think we worked through two different companies.
It was, no, it was one gal that it went to because we only had 2 weeks. And she wrote it and it seemed like it was a really, really large amount. Even just one of those
yeah,
would,
yeah.
would save us, but. And that was through EDC that did that, not out of general or anything like that.
I want to say it was like 14,000,
Yeah, I don't know. It was
but that's
huge.
just off the top of my head. I don't remember.
So anyway,
So I'll make a motion to approve the proposal from SK Consulting for the transit grant writing up to $25,000. And to approve the Early Bird Grant Writing Services LLC for grant writing, general grant writing and research, subject to contract negotiations.
second,
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Nobody online, saying none, all in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries. We need a motion for, or was your, I'm sorry, was your motion for both companies?
Yes.
Okay,
Efficient.
all right. Sheriff, search and rescue bid approval for a side-by-side trailer.
So we've applied for and received a grant. This was last year through the ATV State Parks and Rec program for to purchase a trailer that calls our rescue side to side. That's the one that's enhanced. It's tall. And so you have 3 bids in front of you for $19,000, $12,000 and $11,500. The big disparity is that we have to have a 96-inch door. There was only one company that could give us that 96-inch door, and that's that in trailer, so $19,391.48. And so they're about a 6-week lead time on for
Okay.
special deal. But and this is a budgeted item. It's there's a match, but that is in my budget. I put it on extra in the budget.
It is kind of a specialized trailer because the other smaller ones have the smaller door, but it's more like a toy hauler width.
It has a 96
Yeah.
inch rear opening. door,
Okay.
yes.
When I saw the bid, I was like, okay, wait a minute. Let's go back through and see why he's wanting the expensive one, but that makes sense. And your side by side has a attachment on it too, doesn't it? That needs more width. It is,
It's not wide, it's tall.
Yeah.
That side by side is capable of carrying a patient. On the
right. Okay.
I did read through it. I will make a motion to approve the sheriff's office purchase of a S by S? Is that
Side by side.
Side by side. S by trailer. I'm sorry, I don't see that very often like that. From Ben Trailers for the amount of $19,391.48.
I second it.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Saying none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Let us know when you get it. All right. Gussie, let's talk about Oregon Hunters Association and several others.
I wanted to say thank you for this. I'm being Bruce right now.
Oh, you.
I'm being Bruce. I'm channeling Bruce right now. Thank you for this. I appreciate that. It's going on my.
Gussie.
Wherever he's fishing, his ears are ringing.
Let me
That's
know if
right.
You're tired of me sending them.
Mm-mm.
All right, so the first one is Oregon Hunters Association. Brian Ratliff from ODF and W sent me this grant opportunity. It's like a $50,000 pot. He said not a whole lot of grants come into it, so I thought, why not apply for it? This grant would be intended to actually support our Southern Baker County grant
Yeah,
as a match. And it's supposed to be used on hunt and access properties pretty much. So that would probably be like more like Troy ranches and MR King and then Hancock. So but
Okay.
it will target leafy spurge, brush skeleton, and knapweed. And then I also included some white top and Scotch thistle for the near the I-84 corridor on Troy Ranches area, so that maybe we can clean some of that up too.
Yeah.
So,
I saw that you put that in there.
yeah. Yep. So that'll be due on January 27th. I have it sent out for review, but I brought it to you guys. So
Okay,
yeah.
how does the match work with this?
So there was nothing listed as match, like that I had to have anything, but
Okay.
I felt to make it stronger that I should include some match.
As in, like in kind?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I did include some private landowner match, some buy-in from them, in-kind labor from them, and then we did do a little bit of road match. Like $1,000 or $2,000 worth of labor. And then from our department with the noxious weeds side of it that we have to doodle. And then I didn't include it in the overall total when I calculated it up, but we could also use the grant as pending the Oregon State Weed Board grant, Southern Baker County. We could use some of that funds as pending until it gets cleared. So But I did ask, nothing was clarified if I had to have like 1-to-1 or 25% or something like that, but I felt it was important to include it just in case.
Well, good.
Smart move. Smart
Yeah.
move.
I'll make a motion.
Okay.
To approve the OHA Pleasant Valley Weed Control Grant requesting 12,500 funds for the weed department.
I'll second it.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Anybody online? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. What's the next one?
So I have a meeting with the Forest Service, Lowell Whitman sector, with Scott Schaefer and clearing up some things. Before me coming here, Jeffrey and Scott had worked on some Title II funds for right-of-way treatment through Forest Service that did come through for $17,331. So that's something we will be looking forward to for next year. And then with that, he did have some OHV trail system money that he applied for as well, so we rolled it in with the Title II funds. That's $8,102 that he and I talked about, and it would be running from Sumter down to Unity. He offered it, and I said, sure. OHV trail sounds like fun, so that would be an ATV project for us, and that would go into our money. We would be contracted to do that, or we would get funds from that. So.
Oh, okay.
The one that Jeffrey submitted back in 2023, the salaries for that one was $10,150 for Baker County, and then for truck use, it's $1,700 included in their budget. So I had to do some digging on that.
So you're holding with his numbers then? Okay.
Yeah, on that one, and
Okay.
the 8,102.
Would you be able to spray it, say Fizz Spring on this one?
We're
Because it's
working-
forest.
I could talk with him. I did see that, but he didn't offer that one up, but I
Okay.
could talk to him if he wanted me to. Because we're still talking about the next cycle of Title II funds, which are due next month. So, but yeah, I could talk to him on this being spring and see what's going on with that one.
Yeah, I noticed last fall that there's just a little bit of white top and some various, but it's not bad. It's just down by and that riparian area will be worked on, but just a little bit.
Okay, yeah,
It's
we
not a
can
huge project.
talk about it and see what we can do there. If he has money already set aside for that, if he wants me to do it, or if you guys try county on it or whoever.
Okay.
But yeah, and then the next one that I had was they have bear funding, so that's their fire funding. It only can be used on Forest Service land. That's gonna be in the Beaver Mountain area, which Big Spurge, it's been used as match in my grant. So we came up with $9,999. We couldn't figure out how to spend one more dollar. So that one's salaries for us is $4,950. I did budget out $3,000 for a contractor that I could send a contractor up there. It doesn't mean I have to. I could do an amendment and that could come to us. We budgeted for $140 in travel for mileage. We have it 10% indirect, and then of admin fees, and then $3,000 for the contractors. So, yeah. So that's also included in the Forest Service stuff as well for today.
Nice.
But the cool thing about Title II, that can also be used on private land. I believe that's what Scott told me, but bear funding or bear, whatever. However you say it,
Yeah.
that has to be used on Forest Service land. That was affected by fire, so.
So one question, this one talks about SRS funding with Forest Service, so the secure rural schools. I didn't think that went through anymore, or is this prior funding?
It didn't go through for the next round. This is the one that Jeffrey applied for in 2023.
Okay, so that's using old funds.
How's that gonna work?
Or is it just because that shows on the application?
I think it's just showing on the application. It's not directly because it's actual Title II project submission.
Okay,
So it's at the federal level of the SRS.
Okay.
That makes sense. How the Title II
Okay.
is being funded.
okay. If you're, you know this, I don't, so I just. Because I just know that was where they didn't come through, so.
Right. But I think ultimately being Title II and USDA,
We should be okay.
yeah,
Only
if they didn't have that, then they wouldn't give it.
Okay. right.
Right, and it's
It's awarded already. I just,
Okay,
I'm
okay.
just.
So it's the
Yeah,
money's
catching up.
out
that's
there.
what's
Okay, so the money's out
going
there,
on.
so from prior year, from
Uh-huh.
last year. Okay, all right.
Yes.
Thank you. That's
Yeah.
all I need to know. Thank
yeah,
you.
it's up to them to come up with
Okay.
the money. If it's for
Well, I
whatever
just-
reason, it
The
wouldn't
whole
get.
SRS was the big conversation.
Yeah, for whatever
Definitely.
reason, it didn't get funded, then they would just
Okay. All right.
cancel it out.
Okay. Um,
But so far, I haven't seen anything saying that they weren't going to offer the Title II stuff, even though the
No.
SRS was not voted
I know,
through this
it's pretty
time.
quiet
They're
on that.
still pushing Title II
Yeah.
funding opportunities.
So,
Doge gets them.
And some of this Forest Service would need to be signed, I believe, is what I got from them. So
They have to
Oh.
be signed
I don't know, does it need to be signed
by.
by a
What do you
commissioner or something for approval or something? I don't know, I'm kind of navigating through this. This is my first time doing this type of
Sure.
stuff, so I'm not really sure what's
I
going on.
didn't see it. Oh, there's signatures
So-
right there. It's on this one.
They might, yeah.
on
And they can
this one.
send it
It's
to
on
you.
this
I
one.
told them I just had to bring it to you guys to have it signed at some point. So I don't know if
It's
you
on
can
I'm assuming
move
it's
to
that.
approve and then sign out a session. or
Oh, that's
something.
Because you're not ready
Surprising.
today. This isn't ready today.
No.
I mean, you're
Yeah.
waiting to hear back.
Yeah.
and-
Yeah, and I'm
Group of
gonna
the
tell
Board
them
of
that.
And this is,
Supervisors.
this is.
I told them
think
that I
it's
had to
us.
bring it here for approval and then you guys could, if you approved it,
Just
then you
bring
can
us what-
sign it.
Bring us what
But,
you need, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So the motion needs to include the bear funds of 10,000 and the Title II funds of 25,000. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll move to approve the application for U.S. Forest Service bear funds of $10,000 in the Beaver Mountain area and Title II funds amounting to roughly 25,488.
Second,
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Saying none. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank
thanks,
you.
Bessie. I like your vest too.
Artie Brandon brought it to me yesterday.
Did he?
Did he?
I don't wear that. Yeah, he gave it up to me, so.
Nice. Nice. Official.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thanks.
All right, emergency management. First up is performance grant agreement.
Yes. So in the staff report, I included the email from the Oregon Department of Emergency Management. They basically were cleaning up some of the stuff. They forgot to put a word after one of the
Right.
attachments that actually wasn't attached because our grant is under 100,000. So anyways, it was just that type of stuff. So
This is just the clean.
bringing it
the
back
one
to
before.
get it re-signed.
Okay.
Based on there's nothing changed on our end and the amount didn't change or anything like that. It is still, there's still state funding in there that helps reduce our match amount because it is a matching grant. dollar
Right,
for dollar
I saw that.
match, but so,
I mean, we've already approved it.
yeah, it was,
We're
yeah,
just-
and that's where I was like, well,
So just, do we need to make a motion to approve the amendment? Or does it,
It's
It's
down
actually-
here, and I can,
okay, thank
yeah,
you.
so I can make a motion to sign the agreement number 24-500 EMPG Baker County Grant for $74,440.
I will second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Probably not. Seeing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Yeah, okay, so that's what I've been
Just-
reading. That's what I've been reading. Okay. Okay, I didn't want to get in trouble. Thank you, Christina.
All right. Fire management assistance, for the FMAG grant application.
so now I know we've talked briefly about these with every fire management assistance grant fire, there comes some hazard mitigation funding from FEMA. So they automatically put it in there. It's under $1 million basically for each one of those FMAGs that the state of Oregon had. And so they asked us to do some pre-applications for that pot of funding. Every county that had a fire directly in them, were first in line. I ended up putting in 7 sub-applications just to see what would be there and maybe put our foot in the door there. 4 of them that were moved forward out of this round is the Huntington Fuels Project, the Huntington Well Generator, Baker Rural Generator, and the trailer mounted generators. One project that they're going to put into a different projects. So, like that HMGP PF, which is post-fire hazard mitigation grant program, sorry, HMGP. And then the PF is post-fire. And then what is it? Fire mitigation, the FM. And then there's the disaster number after that. So 5,500. They're looking at like a 4,850 disaster number for the road department to have a backup generator placed over there. So they're going to try and move that over to a different line of funding. With that, you can only use out of those funding, you can use like 5% is what they call just like a 5% project. It doesn't have the cost benefit analysis that you have to do is that. So I think they tried to move a lot of those generator projects underneath that. It just let's just get those projects moved forward and done type of stuff. You don't have to then go do all the legwork and base work of some of the projects funds. And then I can't remember in my mind, you can do planning projects. And so it breaks that funding and it says what percentage you can use that. So basically out of the 5,500 pot of money, that's where they're like, we don't have enough to do that. So that's where they moved the road department over there. And then we had a couple others, we were trying to do like a Eastern Oregon or Eastern area dozer school and that type of stuff to get more trained dozer operators and that type of stuff. And they didn't like that project. And then something for a support vehicle for the dozers being a side-by-side for the road barn as well. And they didn't move forward with that. So
They didn't.
they did not.
Okay.
Yeah. So those two are put aside. So bringing before you today were the 4 projects and the map in front of you. The first one is the Huntington Fuels project. You can't use a fuel break or anything in their terminology, but you can do, keep things. So like in Huntington, they already dozed around pretty close. So on the map, there's a black line and then a green line. So this is just looking at it, some alternate routes and type of that. And then the red line would be going out a little bit further under like the Idaho Power right of way.
Okay.
So looking at working with them because the black line, the project was at about 175,000 estimated there, depending on where we had to get the rock and the hauling and that type of stuff. And then obviously working with the landowner. So working yesterday, went and met with the landowner, and that's one landowner on all 3 sides of Huntington, which is very nice to work with. And he was willing to do this and then even donate the portion of land being used as an in-kind match.
Okay.
Also, the city of Huntington Fire Department from Oregon State Fire Marshal's office received about a $63,000 grant to do hazardous fuels reduction within the city limits.
Good.
They think there's a way that I might be able to use that, not take that funding, because I told Chief Bronson, you do what you want to do with that money. You got that for your projects. But OSFM seems to think, well, just the work that is being done with that might be able to be considered a match for these larger projects on the outside.
Yeah.
So I guess that's where we're at kind of with that one. The city of Huntington went to their meeting last night. They want to go forward with this as well. I did not get them to sign are you willing to then match wise? I am still looking. We do still have an off ramp of I can prep the application, submit it to the state. The state has 2 months to go over it, and then they're going to submit it to FEMA. And then when we get that all back, we can go, we weren't able to come up with the match or something like that. So that's where that project is currently. I guess, wanted to bring it before you because with the Huntington stuff, they did not do a resolution signing on to our natural hazard mitigation plan that the county has. So they kind of have to go through us in order to use our plan, which we did work with them on. It just, I don't know what happened with the board not doing that because they are mentioned heavily. We worked with them heavily to get them in that natural hazard mitigation plan. And then we don't have a resolution letter from them adopting it like Baker City and Halfway did. So we will be updating that again. I'm going to go to all the cities and say, really want you to be a part of this because then, well, one, we don't have to be that middleman. I'm willing to help them and do that.
Do
But
you think it was just an oversight?
I don't know what happened there. I don't know. I checked email. I had Bill Lee check my email because in my mind, I thought they had submitted it, but it was after we had to get it to FEMA already. And so I went and searched for it and I could not find their letter. And then I asked them to do, look at this date range to see if you guys actually did one, and they couldn't find it on their half either. So I would have passed the polygraph probably, but I would have been wrong still. So anyways, yeah. So bringing that to you, let's see here. the application process that does have, we got to get the budget done. I didn't include all of that in your packet. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, because I got all the approvals and then here's all what it takes to do the application. So that what I gave you was the pre-app. So there's a sub application that's about 20 pages of fill in some stuff. It's not too great, just a lot of page numbers for some reason. And then you have to do cost match assurance form. What I'd like to try and do with that is work with you guys on signing it, but like for Huntington, I want the mayor to also sign like on that project. And then we have a certification regarding lobbying debarment suspension that we're not doing that. The maintenance assurance forms that this project, once it's done, will be maintained. So that would be another kind of like for the Huntington projects that's going over towards them. The construction budget, the assurances for the construction budget, and then it has a HMGP designation of agent signature authority form, which was a resolution form. And I'm asking them, why does that need to be a resolution? Why can't it just be signed by the commissioners or something saying this is how we're going to do that? So anyways, that's the packet. I can hand that. So that's what the sub application contains, and I can get that to you and Heidi, and we can send it out so you guys can look at the whole thing if you'd like. But I'm working on that for these anyways. Well, we'll be working on that. I've been gathering data based on if you guys want me to proceed forward or not. The second one for Huntington is a generator for their well. So if they have a public safety power shutoff, obviously they have no water in town then until, well, they have some based in their water tower, but by keeping water in there, then they wouldn't have to hyperchlorinate if they ever got any air in their system from the power being off. And then obviously for firefighting, it's pretty important to have some water.
Would have been nice.
Yeah. Yep. So, Idaho Power was a huge player and they did bring a generator out when they did shut off power there. It took them a little bit, but yeah. So by getting something there and after the mayor's meeting last week, I spoke to him out in the lobby and said, we're gonna have to come up with some match for that. And he thought they actually did have the match for that as well. So that one I think is all Huntington as far as the matching and those type of things. But the hazard mitigation grant program is a 75-25, 75% federal, 20, we got to come up with the 25%. And I did not, plan on disasters. So I did not budget matching funds just sitting there. So anyways, the Baker Rule one, I was able to put it pretty much under them. So Chief Lee actually got all the paperwork to him. I filled it out and did this and submitted it. And they're using ours, but because they're not a municipality, I think in the realm of Huntington City, they're able to still use our HMGP without having to go through us. So he's got all the paperwork, and I've been helping him do that and go through that process. So that one again is kind of off.
So is that a standalone then?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's where I didn't bring it to you guys, and as far as we won't have to be signing on any of that part. That's all over there. And then I guess I think that one's all good.
It's good to know
Yeah.
anyway that
Yeah.
they're gonna get that. I was
Yeah.
hoping that they would get something out of that.
Well, the one that they have right now doesn't work. so.
Right. So the one that they don't, the one that they do have, anyways, we also have,
There's a plan for that.
there is a plan for that, and that's this last one. It's the trailer mounted generators. So we have the road department, he has a 200 kW generator. We have 3 100 kW generators and 2 60 kW generators that were military surplus that we have gotten over time that really haven't been used very much. They're big, they're bulky, they're loud type of stuff. But the plan for that was to maybe take them, put them on a trailer, and that way they could go to wherever they're needed to go. We wouldn't necessarily have that transfer switch there. Hopefully over time we get transfer switches at these locations and then know like what we need to do with what generator to hook it up properly. But looking at that, so that's 6 trailers, and that the trailer cost came to about $30,000. Talking to Noodle, we might have some work, or looking at that because we're looking at like a tandem axle car hauler is what he kind of suggested to look into, and we might want to shorten those up a little bit. But I was surprised at the price. They weren't as much as I thought they were going to be for that. And then some of the other grants that we were looking at and working with, like the Office of Resiliency and Emergency Management, we're taking generators, trailer mounting them, and also making them to be able to charge electric vehicles, especially like if the freeway shut down or something, and they were stuck out there for so long. Now we got a bunch of dead vehicles that can move. They're not, in the accident. So could we take a trailer out and start plugging stuff in? And so I put about $45,000 worth of upgrades. And I was looking at that. I put some solar to keep things charged up and that type of stuff. And so that comes out to 16-ish thousand, which, like I said, this was estimate, or 18,875 based on the total cost being about 75,500. That was pretty rough when I put that in. I would need to refine that. But that I do not have any match. So that's where I was bringing to you guys. If you want me to look into forward to keep going and we discuss maybe where match comes from, or if you guys say we need to just put that on the shelf for now, that's
The
where we're
work
at.
in Huntington is pretty critical to try to get done.
Okay.
That, it took Idaho Power a while to find that generator, and then you had the fire crews down there trying to fill the tenders with the
River water and stuff.
well, right, river water, but trying to pull out of the hydrants and
Oh.
no power to the municipality for a little bit.
Mhm.
It really slowed things down. So having one on site and then the fuel mitigation is really critical there. So
So do we need a motion? Do we just?
It's
Unless
more
we
of
need to know about
a
the
guidance on
match.
moving forward.
So is there money in the budget?
I would say try to find the
we'll try to find a
matching
match.
that those matches wherever needed.
So if we can come
Now,
up with
if you-
Huntington, what's the match from Huntington?
Yeah,
That would
the well from Huntington, and then using that Oregon State Fire Marshal funding would be
Yeah.
what my hope
Yeah.
would be the match, because
Yeah.
the match for the black line, the smaller distance was like 45-ish range, and so that clearly goes over that amount. I just, being kind of two separate projects, I have a hard time going, yeah, that's going to work great, especially if we're signing on something. I want to double check that before. But
I
so
think
if that one doesn't happen,
But you want consensus to go
And-
forward.
Yes.
yeah, I just want to make sure you guys want me to proceed with that. The way that we're doing it now is a little bit different and would be better in that the state gets all those FMAGs and all these disaster declarations go to the state, and then all the counties can apply. Like I said, we're first in line because we had one in, but in the future, if there was funding left over in some of those, and we do have some projects on the shelf or something like that, we could submit them that way. And, have then we could say, we're going to try and do this project. So let's put some match funds away somewhere.
Go for it.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's moving
going.
forward. I think
Yeah.
there's definitely a need there for.
Hunt at the ground until we, either get it or run completely out of options. But
Okay.
it's critical enough to go forward with.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
That was
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you.
Jason, I'm gonna call you later this afternoon. I got a call from Gail Combs on Firewise.
Okay.
She's wanting to know where money is.
Right. I'm investing it and we're trying to use.
Okay, just checking.
No.
I'm not sure I can tell her that. Anyway, I'll give you a call. She's supposed to be giving me a document, and then as soon as I have it, I'll get it to you. And then we can talk. Perfect, thanks.
All right, Jessica, talk about some data collection.
I just want to apologize ahead of time. I'm fighting a
Still?
cold cough still.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, man, whatever this is.
2 weeks
it's
in,
been a
and
hanger on her.
so if I have a coughing fit, I apologize.
Well,
I have some cough drops, so
I'm sorry you don't feel.
yeah. So I'm here to talk about data collection for tourism and marketing. So you should have three different bids. I was able to get a third over email late last week, but so what it is it's tracking cell phone data for people who come to Baker County. So what we can do is geofence certain areas, unlimited amount of areas. Like for example, Geyser Pullman Park during Miners Jubilee, we can geofence and target that area, see how many people came from 50 miles away or more. Is this a tourism driver? You can do downtowns, you can do anything
This
that.
is scary.
But you're being tracked anyway.
Yeah, you are
I
being
mean,
tracked
I-
anyway.
it
I'm just
doesn't-
I was reading this
utilizing
and I
it.
No, it doesn't give personal data, just
Yeah,
the, just
but
the
just where you're
data
coming
that,
from.
you
Yep.
know, somebody came from Washington
To-
to,
Okay,
the
interesting.
golf course, you know,
Yes.
when they
Yes.
couldn't get us numbers
We could have had numbers.
for the golf course funding for their water line, they could
Mhm.
not produce any numbers, that were solid.
Yeah, well, and I've had meetings with Nick and Dylan at Quail Ridge, and they're super excited to be able to utilize this.
Because
And
they haven't been tracking it.
they don't really have a way to. So if you do it on, if you like schedule a tea time online, my understanding is if you schedule a tea time online, you have to put where you're from, right? They could probably track credit card information while they're
When they're
there.
coming in and getting their tea times, they just mark a box.
Yeah, but they haven't been,
Okay, yeah,
and,
that's,
and, you know, other companies have done it through Eventbrite.
Yes.
You know, and
Yep.
if you have tickets and things like that, but
Yeah.
you don't have that ticket situation at the Geyser, and she did present this at TLT. I was there, you both were occupied elsewhere. And TLT thought it was a great idea. The
Yeah.
partners meeting before that, prior to that, they thought it was a great idea so that we could get the data.
Yeah, and you, like I
necessary.
said, you can run as many reports as you
Okay.
want, so you can look at,
Because you've got the dashboard that you pay for every year. Is that- So you have unlimited.
so, well, that's the thing is, Placers, is a 2-year contract and it's really expensive. It's like 29 for the first year and 25 or 6 the next year. So what, I pitched to the committee and they agreed is the Datafy one, because it's a 1-year contract. See how much information we can get. And just so you know, this information does go back to 2017. So we can, you know, all these events that we're helping with marketing, we can really see the growth or unfortunately the not growth, you know, we can really see that information. So they agree, the committee did suggest just doing 1 year for now, see how many reports I can run in a year and, you know, get that information and really utilize that, because I don't want to put our marketing dollars into an area that,
That's not.
you know,
Yeah.
closing my eyes and throwing a
Right. sure.
dart at the wall when you're not gonna get the return of.
have you talked to people that have used this?
Yes, so I haven't got a lot of feedback, but I know that Travel Bend, my
Okay.
counterpart there, they do use Datafy specifically. Eugene, my counterpart there, they use Zardico, I think that's how you pronounce it. So a lot of DMOs and a lot of chambers do use data
Something.
collection. They use something to really help with their marketing. So
I know.
And this comes out of TLT funds, correct?
yes,
Out
so
of her budget.
out of my
your
budget.
Okay.
Oh.
Yep, so what I suggested was the special projects, because it has a $50,000 line
Yeah.
item. And Datafy's, it's on the last page of Datafy's proposal, I guess, is the advanced analytics and ads is the 20,500 is what the 1-year contract would be.
What about tracking the lodging data, like with the TLT tax? I know that was expensive, but did anybody look into that?
The lodging data.
That's totally different, but
Well, to see where people are coming from when they actually stay. But I know that data is available, but you have to.
Well, I mean, I could geofence the lodging establishments, and if
Yeah.
someone gave me a range, you know, like summer time, you could
Okay.
see,
Because Shelley's having a hard time, my understanding is getting that specific
Right.
information.
from the
outside of-
lodging partner.
Yeah.
it's always been like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know
This
how
is Baker
much they
County. There's
can
your
give
funds.
you, to be
There you go.
honest. I don't know.
There's private companies that you can sign on with similar to this, but again, it's expensive. And you can, I had to kind of have the thought of, if we could partner with want, you know, or Union County or whoever and
Mm.
go in on the.
Are you unlimited to how many geofences things you can do in a year?
I can do
You
unlimited.
do whatever you
I
It
can-
is so huge, the
Okay.
possibilities
Okay.
that for each one of the cities, for them to have whatever data they need for any of their
That's awesome.
events
Mhm.
is just huge. And then countywide,
Mhm. Well, yeah, I mean, you could geofence like, Phillips Lake, like the campground.
Hewitt
could-
and Holcomb
Yeah,
How narrow can you get? Can you do,
I mean, you could do like one building.
building.
okay,
You could do like,
so if there was an Airbnb,
yep,
okay.
yeah. And and you can also go, you can bring it down to like people from 50 miles away or shorter. So you can look at all the locals that are going to these places, or you can do
How
you
many
know,
people are
a
coming
tourist is
from-
50 miles away or more. So we
Yeah.
can look at that too.
just scary.
So,
What would be the advantage of tracking an Airbnb? I mean, I could see the events and the cities in the recreation areas and things like that, but
mhm.
I don't know what the advantage would be to tracking an Airbnb, say,
Because you know that they're gonna be over 50 miles out.
because they're
So
probably gonna be at an event or something like that related. You know, is that going to
it'd be
alter
added
those
later.
numbers if you're
I was just
saying that
thinking
an
you could use
event
it-
was happening and then within that radius of the Airbnbs and all these, I mean, it's kind of redundant because you're probably
Yeah,
tracking the
it
same
could
people
be.
that are
You could.
staying in that lodging.
You
It
could,
could be, yeah.
you could find ones that aren't paying a tax and see how long they've had.
I don't know that you're gonna be able to track that because
No,
you just
I
get a
don't
number. You don't get
It's-
the
you don't
information you
get
get.
I don't have that
monetary.
information.
You would,
Shelley
you
just
would
gets a
know.
dollar amount. I don't think she gets it by address.
She gets it by address. They have to sign up with us every year. If somebody hadn't, but then you could see that the last 5 years, people from Florida, Mississippi, Washington were coming to that location
Mhm.
regularly.
Well, I mean, that's
You would
definitely
know.
a report I could run eventually. I
And that's
kind of,
not the most important.
right,
one, it's
yeah,
just saying,
I'm more leaning towards, you know, the recreation
yeah.
Yep. the events.
information, the events, you
Yep.
know, the park just got some money as a tourism related facility for the bathroom, so I'd like to, you know, collect information to see how, you know, I mean, just any
But you
information.
could, but you could do
is-
it for Sumter and you'd have you could show the big influx
For the flea
for
market.
the flea market. And
Absolutely.
then you could also see what the turnover is for the Airbnbs and the lodging up there after,
Mhm.
so.
Yeah, I mean,
correlated
it's-
with events
It's our
and all.
wildest dreams, right? We can, we
Yeah.
can pick any sort of
Yeah.
report that we would.
I think it's great.
I do
Target,
too.
I
I-
think target
I'm-
marketing
I'm-
is the way to go. I mean,
For
Absolutely.
the events and the
Yeah.
marketing and
Yeah.
and things
Like I said,
that.
I don't want to close my eyes and throw a dart at the wall
Right.
and just hope that we get
That's what we do.
people to attend, you
No, I
know?
think it's smart.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
I will make a motion to approve moving forward with a one-year contract with Datify in the amount of $20,500 for Jessica Hobson, Travel Baker County.
And would it be okay? Oh, sorry, go
Let
ahead.
me second the motion and then go ahead. I second it.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
So I don't have the contract now. Can I bring it to you out of session to have you sign the
Is it-
contract?
Will it just be?
We
So
probably need
know
that.
that we have a work session next Wednesday.
Okay,
So we would be gathered, but can we sign something?
Not out of session.
So-
Not out of work session.
Does Kim need to look at that contract?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
all right.
No.
I wouldn't think so, because like with the
Yeah, make a
billboard, I think you just.
Yeah, I'll revise my motion to include the signature out of session
I second the amendment.
for the contract.
I second the amendment.
All right, a motion and a second. Yeah, all in favor, say aye.
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 Thanks,
Thank you.
Jessica.
Thank you
could
very
send us
much.
an email.
Yes.
Talk about that next week. The email from Jessica.
What's your
Wow.
vote?
Do you wanna talk
Oh,
about
this
that next week?
morning.
We're still voting.
This
You already
morning.
voted?
He
Did
didn't.
you
read
vote?
his email.
I did.
Did you
Well,
say
maybe
aye?
you,
Yes.
Okay,
I did.
maybe we can have a meeting, like I can meet with each of you individually and
Yeah.
talk about it.
Yeah, you and I
Okay.
have already talked about most of the things on that email from this morning.
Mhm.
Um,
yeah, you and I need to. get
and
together.
I replied back to you on
Yes.
a few of
I
those.
read
so-
some of it, but I was driving. So.
Right, yeah.
I didn't want to read it all.
So can we meet next week?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Just, I can email you sometimes I have available. I don't have my
Okay.
calendar on me
Yeah,
right now.
just let me,
so.
just let me know.
Thank you, guys. I
Thank you.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
All right, I think that is all for contract review board. I will now close contract review board. And go to commissioner board and committee review. I know, some of mine got out of order last night. I'm just going through them.
So the one thing I had down was we had tried to keep CCO, mental health and New
Yeah.
Directions all together. And it looks like New Directions got on to Shane. And so it got separated out.
If you, I talked to Sherry, I was at the Lipstick meeting this morning, and I talked to Sherry and I don't know, same board.
It's on the other side. It's on the other side.
Oh,
So you've got
why
this
did,
one.
yeah,
Now this one, that's.
and yeah,
She
that's
fixed that
wrong.
down
Okay,
below. She
okay.
fixed it down below. So this one,
And
this one, and this one, we talked about
you can,
last week to go have them all commingled
It's-
together.
the New Direction board, that's more like operations. I'd like to keep that, but if you want these other two,
I still think that those three need to go together.
they're not. They're not. So the coordinated care is not what I thought it was, and I spoke with Sherry about it. It is like the local partners that do this kind of work come together, but it doesn't have anything to do with like the funding or any of that. So
Or mental health, doesn't that go with New Directions?
It should.
well, it
Local
does,
alcohol
yeah,
and drug planning.
it does, but this would give you an idea of the
So if I take
services.
CCO, then you could take mental health and New Directions.
I can do that. Is that
Okay.
all right?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
I just think that they all kind of made sense to go together.
I thought they did too, but I didn't realize that this was, I get this similar information with Lipstick, and then I meet with a lot of these people. So that would be good for you to do. I didn't realize, I thought this had to do with Gobi, and it doesn't.
Okay.
But it would be good for you to be on, because then you would know
Okay.
what they're doing, the services that all of these outfits are providing. And then the same, so you want me to keep mental health?
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Thank you for revising the titles on some of these.
Yes.
Heidi.
Yeah,
Um,
and then,
Are you sure that, Michelle, that you want TLTC and marketing, or do you want me to, I mean, I sat in last week, I can certainly sit in on it.
well, the problem is the way that those are gonna fall right
Yeah.
now is county college.
Yeah, so I can
Just for this
certainly
year?
take
For this
that.
year?
Yeah.
And then we'll
And
switch it next
they're
year.
meeting, TLTC is meeting quarterly,
quarterly,
but then at the last meeting, they decided to meet monthly
oh,
for work sessions that are, they're not actual work sessions. They are, they're meetings within the core committee, but not accepting grant
Grants.
presentations and things
No
like that.
decisions to
It's
make
just,
right here.
it's just
Yeah.
to work.
Okay.
But it's not a work session so that they can make.
whoever,
Okay. I just feel
So that-
bad, but I looked at my calendar and for the first 6 months, it's. county
I'm
college.
fine taking it. I kept his book over the weekend and looked through it a little bit closer, and
oh,
I
good.
really want to be able to track the downtown marketing that we funded for a
Yeah.
year, and I made that clear that I was going to be tracking all of that
Okay.
I'm
funding.
having, oh,
Thank you
I'll
for doing
have-
that then. Thank
Okay.
you. So do you want me to take one of yours?
are you?
Well,
Hang on, you're shuffling the cards too fast. I can't keep up. Whoever, so if you, so you're gonna take TLT
TC.
permanently,
Mhm.
okay,
At least for this, year.
Uh,
we may switch it next year, but. yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
we can always do something
And that's
different, but
true.
I don't mind.
Whoever gets it, if they're doing these work sessions, you just gotta be sure that they're noticing them the right way.
Yeah,
I mean, I
I think
they are.
Shelley is aware of that.
Oh, that's what I was gonna.
TLT
that's
does
what I was
better than
gonna
EDC.
say. The downtown marketing has turned in a financial report. Have you got your hands on that?
No, and I
No.
want to see, no, okay, she turned in one, but it's not detailed.
That's-
It just says Festival of Trees, or it says flower planters or whatever, and I want it detailed saying
Well, and
what
I,
funds paid for the flower planters, what funds paid for the
when, that's exactly. it.
artificial trees at the Festival of Trees,
When we-
because that is not
When we
tourism
negotiated
related
that contract,
funds.
I specifically asked for that to show detailed information so that we
It
can,
doesn't.
so then when Orla comes and jumps up and down on us and says we're not spending the money appropriately, we have tracking.
No, I have it on my list.
Okay,
And that is an ask.
yep. And then I'll stay with EDC then.
That's fine.
Okay.
I usually listen into EDC anyway. I'm either here
Right, yeah.
or listening in or something like
Yeah.
that. And then I would like to make a motion that, and I don't know if I can make a motion or not, but I'd like to make a motion that Commissioner Caseberg be the budget officer going forward.
Historically, I've done it. It's in my job description, but it's not really that big of a deal.
The ORS states that it does not have to be the chair,
so I
and
pulled
in the
that.
past, Bill Harvey had stated that in the past, they just did it that way. But it doesn't even have to be a commissioner, it could be anybody for
Anybody.
the ORS.
Yeah.
And Michelle, with her fantastic ability, on budgeting and numbers and all of that stuff, I would really like to see her in that role, so.
I think it will help me and help us if we can do that. And then just because of working with Christina and doing the budget.
Yes,
doing the
definitely.
budget message and all of that stuff.
You're
I
digging
think-
deep.
Yeah, I am gonna dig deep and they found that out when I was doing some of this other stuff. So I'm gonna second that motion, even though it's me.
Yeah, fine with me. Like I said, when we're starting to build a budget out, I see the department heads, when they bring their budget in and we go over it and, that wouldn't.
Yeah, that would be up to the budget officer now to see those, wouldn't it?
It should come to the budget
all of us
officer.
can see.
It should
The
come to
budget
the
officer
budget
should be able
officer.
to compile it, to be able to, and
Present.
Christina does a lot of that, but I
Mhm.
think we also need some input from the commissioners. And that's where I think that we've not done that. from
No,
what
we
I
haven't.
understand
No.
And it will ease the burden
of Christina.
during budget time.
Yep.
Of our
Yep,
finance
so.
director, which the last couple of years, she's been
How
under
will-
pressure.
How will it ease the burden?
Because I know
Another
that
set
she
of
will
eyes,
work
another
on
set of
it.
eyes.
What's that?
Another set of eyes.
It is. It's another set of eyes and thorough and with your experience in budgeting and checking all of that, I think is a huge attribute. So
Well, it's not really much different than what you can do anyway. It doesn't really get.
I think you can make the position what you want it to. And I think I have the time to be able to do that.
yep, and I think that you can make a difference in easing some of that burden, and that's number one in where we started this month.
Yep.
Is easing the burden on the staff any way we can, and that is one big way we can right there.
Have you talked to Christina Cook about it?
I just said that that was up for discussion. I just said she didn't seem averse to it. So,
Okay, well, I just wondered if,
and she would have told me, Michelle, that's a bad idea. And she didn't say that.
okay.
It's a great idea. So we have a motion and a second.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Okay, so did we get this? So I just want to make a comment and I want it in public that, so after today, these are going to be set.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that we're not going behind each other's back to a committee member and asking if that person is good enough to be on the committee or whatever, and try and get them kicked off. This is set in stone. This needs to be set in stone.
Well, yeah, it always is.
Thank you.
We wouldn't do,
I just want to say that.
yeah,
Well, we,
I would hope not.
that wouldn't. well, you wouldn't
But that's
be
all
able
I'm gonna
to
say.
change- You
That's all
wouldn't be
I'm-
able to change it out of session.
Okay, any other changes on all of this? I think that we've
No,
got
I
our
think
hands
that's,
full.
yeah, I think that'll be fine.
And that was the budget board. So do you need us to go through any of them or is it clear on?
Did you get it figured out what we were doing?
Yeah, I can run through it right quick. just
Okay,
to make sure.
all right.
So, starting with Alderson, we're moving the TLT to Rhythm. We're removing Fair Board and moving that over to Caseburg. We added Museum Commission to Alderson and removed that from Caseburg's list. We added New Directions and removed it from Caseburg's. We took off the LM Museum Committee,
I can, talk with,
which is the same as the
the
The BLM museum, was that is
It's-
that
yeah.
Neotech?
Yeah, when they were at the
Yeah,
museum.
Oh, okay,
I talked-
okay.
I talked with them over
Okay.
it when I was in Vale, and that is dissolved.
Okay.
It's not a thing anymore, so.
We added Prison Advisory Committee, took off the Livestock Association and moved Budget Officer over to Caseburg, which we have an order for that that'll
Yeah.
need to be voted on. Rhythm,
So we had to change that mental health committee. And
oh, yes. I'm
we
sorry.
added that to Shane.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
all right, sorry.
I have one on that.
Okay.
With them, we just added the field marketing, the Canada Basin Watershed, and the Resource Coalition. Caseburg, clarified PDAB is the new BACA. Moved the mental health over to Alderson, moved New Directions to Alderson, moved Museum Board over to Alderson. And it's included broadband, livestock, the recycling, hospital steering committee, Fair Board, and Jobs Council.
And the
And
hospital steering committee is not a committee, it's a group.
Right. Yeah, it's just a liaison.
Yeah,
It's a group, yeah.
yeah.
We have no vote. We have no vote.
Hmm.
We have no say.
So.
Okay, thank you.
Work cut out. Thank you. Do we need to do anything more motion or anything like that on the remainder of that list?
Oh,
Is
so
every-
what was your vote on then?
The
I just made-
That was the
Budget.
budget officer.
Officer, number
Oh.
one.
Just
So we have an
appointing,
order for the
right.
budget officer
Okay,
already. so-
Okay,
okay.
So
so you can strike that motion?
it would be more clear if we did, and then I assume the voting was on the whole list.
No, it was on
We
the
can change
budget
it.
officer
We can amend that.
specifically.
Oh, okay.
We can amend the motion to include the whole list.
Just, yeah, you could amend it to say order number
Yeah, that's a good way to do it.
and then
So is this the only one that needs to be done by order? Or the, like,
there's,
well, I mean, for the commissioners?
appointing you to the Indio EDD board.
Okay,
That's on for today. We may have to do the jobs council. I just don't know enough what's happening.
I'll ask Aaron. Okay,
So there may be some more that.
okay, that can,
I
okay,
see that that's all under documents to be signed,
okay.
the
right.
order numbers and everything, so.
Okay. All right.
I will amend my motion to include the entire, so for the budget, for the budget officer, I will amend that to order number 2025-102 and to approve the remaining list of boards, committees, and special interest items for each of the three commissioners.
I'll second.
All right, have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
So in choosing that, is there going to be any more discussion about the department heads and dividing those up? Like Bill Harvey had stated in the last work session,
That they had done. in the
that
past.
they divided them up instead of all going to the chair for liaison oversight for the department heads, not elected officials, but the department heads.
And I don't see
There is
that.
nothing in here.
And I was thinking that there was in the old job description.
In the what?
Oh, I have a copy of the old job description here. Hold on. Maybe.
I know that we discussed it last Wednesday as, after the board and committee review. I wasn't sure if it was still a subject or not.
It's not on the agenda.
No, it is not. So we can put it on, the next agenda and maybe, how big of a work session agenda that we can, just work through it a little bit more.
Can we do that? And then also the executive assistant job description. I've got a couple changes that if we do that, it's not on here, but for the work session, can we add that?
Oh, yeah, I thought that was gonna,
we
yeah,
were
the
doing-
executive
I didn't see it on here,
assistant, yeah.
but I have
true.
some ideas for that. And so if we could do that at the next work session, if there's time.
Yeah, because I didn't find that management assistant was,
No, there was a couple
redundant of the executive assistant.
They just, and I talked to Heidi about how they came up with that.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so basically, the executive assistant was in place, or,
Yeah.
and then they split it when the other HR person, and I just kind of like to go back to that, but just kind of clarify some things in there, so.
Well, and that's what I was saying, to go
Yeah.
back to the
Yeah,
executive.
but
assistant.
let's talk about that in the executive.
In the work session,
work session.
so, dividing up department heads, the executive assistant position, the management assistant,
And the full job description of the commissioner,
and
of the-
the full, the commissioner.
job description.
Well,
yeah.
that is on
Yeah, well,
our,
that is.
that
Okay.
is on today. That
Yeah.
is on our agenda for today.
But I think that we might not be able to finish that until we do the executive assistant.
True,
duties.
true. We should probably table that because, and we just got it as well, and I was just able to read through it quickly, but not
Yeah.
really study
Yeah,
it, so.
so that's what I'd like to.
If we could table that, so you're wanting to table D, the commissioner job review,
Please.
description review, okay. I'm fine with that.
And then put all of them on the work session.
Well, the longer we go, it's just the
I understand, but I think
But
we
we
need to
have
do
to,
it right.
yep,
We
we have
need
to
to do
we
it
have to do
right.
it right, we have to get this.
And if we're gonna
um,
make changes, I would like to have another week to.
I agree.
So if I make changes, I send them to Heidi and she can send them to you guys.
Yeah.
Suggestions.
Yeah, and
Okay.
then, anything that we can review before the work session, for me, just looking at that, job description that we were just given, I would like to study that more
Yeah.
and then have that conversation next Wednesday, since
Yeah.
we're having 4 meetings this month.
Anyway, so yeah, because it does say I work as budget officer, so we probably need to change that. Or as,
Exactly.
or
Well,
put
that's-
something in there that, as determined by commission, or
Ex-
put it in as regular one, and then budget officer would be determined by
Well, you
a
would-
vote of the
Yes,
commission.
I agree.
You would leave this one, because this is what I got.
That's what we're looking at though, is those duties, so.
So do we need a motion to table?
No, we can push it
Okay.
on now.
It's just a week.
So on to documents to be signed.
Okay,
Order number adopting budget officer for 2025-2026.
we just did that one.
No,
No, we
Oh,
actually
you
have to
moved it.
do
Okay,
the-
sorry. Okay.
So I will make a motion to have Commissioner Caseberg serve as appointed as budget officer for Baker County, order number 2025-102. There's no, let's see, budget officer for the fiscal year 25-26.
I'll second.
a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Order number 2025-103, reappointing Steve Shower
to the Baker County Compensation Board.
I'll move to approve order number 2025-103, reappointing Steve Shower to the Baker County Compensation Board for a term to expire on December 31st, 2028.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Order number 2025-104, reappointing Pat Sullivan to the Baker County Budget Board.
I will make a motion to approve order number 2025-104, reappointing Pat Sullivan to the Budget Board for a term to expire January 1st, 2028.
I'll second it.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
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 Aye, motion carries. Order number 2025-105, appointing Jeannie Sites to the Baker County Wolf Depredation Compensation Committee.
I'll move to approve order number 2025-105, appointing Jenny Sites, also known as Kate Sites, to the Baker County Wolf Depredation Compensation Committee for a term ending September 1, 2027.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any
It's
further
Kate, it's not
discussion?
Jenny.
I don't know why I thought that was funny. What did you say? Deprivation? I mean, it's good. It gave me a chuckle.
Aye. Did we vote aye?
No. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries.
I don't know why I thought that was.
You kind of start going and get in a rhythm and then you go.
Order number 2025-106, appointing Michelle Caseberg to the Northeast Oregon Economic Development District Board.
I will second.
Have a
Oh, wait. I thought you were making a motion.
You can't make the motion, dear.
I'm sorry. I'm losing it. I'll make a motion to approve order number 2025-106, appointing Michelle Caseberg to the Northeast Oregon Economic Development District Board.
I'll second it.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
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 And this is one that we both go to, correct?
Yes.
Travel
Motion carries.
separately, but go to together.
Yeah. Eastern Oregon County EO dues, the EOCA dues.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
Do we, so the Blue Mountain Intergovernment Council, $5,000, do we have we paid that in the past?
Yes, we have, and I'm.
Do we get
the-
anything out of it? I mean, what do we do? What does that do?
I am the one that sits on that big board,
Okay, oh, this is
um,
the big. board.
that's the
This is
big.
oh, okay, okay,
for the Blue Mountain Forest Plan
okay,
revision.
okay.
So, yeah, that's, Eastern Oregon Counties Association work that goes into that, just to kind of back up, give leverage to our Eastern Oregon Counties Association when we are engaged, on the BIC and
So
through
you think
the
it's
forest
right?
plan.
Okay,
Yeah.
I agree, but I didn't understand the whole thing. So the economic summits, do we know what that is?
Yes, they have it once a year, and that is the OTEC. Is that's a different summit. Oh, right. That's
This
the
is
one
the-
that happens in
This
the
is the
summer.
Eastern Oregon Regional Women's Economic
It,
Summit.
and they call it women's, but everybody,
They
no,
host.
well, here they don't call it women's, the Eastern Oregon Economic Summit. When they send it out, it's Women's Summit,
Right.
but then everybody,
Everybody goes.
it's kind of like your first night at AOC in November.
Okay, all right.
It's a women's night, but
Oh, okay,
everybody,
but everybody goes. Okay.
Yeah.
So have we contributed that in the past?
I cannot confirm that right off.
Heidi, do you know?
It seems,
Have we contributed to the Eastern Oregon Economic Summit in the past?
Economic Summit, that's the OTEC.
no, through EOCA membership. It's an option on there to be above and beyond their $10,000.
I could look and see.
And honestly, Michelle, I have not attended since I came in.
Okay.
And that's just because if they say that it's a women's summit and it's like supposed to be directed towards, I have a problem with just anything that makes us above and beyond special like that. But,
Or maybe that's something we asked.
huh?
Is that John? No, who's,
It's Paul Schaefer.
Paul Schaefer, it's
Is the
Eastern
chair.
Oregon County Association.
okay,
Paul-
Paul.
Or not Paul
It's
Schaefer,
not-
not
Not Schaefer,
Paul.
John
but
is-
Paul Andera.
Banderas
Oh, Paul, okay, okay.
is, he's the president right now. I don't
So we
know.
just tell him, don't call it women's.
Well, they promote it as. They don't call it, but they promote it as.
Oh,
But
Interesting.
yeah, if you wanted to put in 1,000, then that's, fine. But I don't know if anybody from here has attended. We should probably, but it depends upon, they have a specific,
Timing.
it's not just like a general summit. They have a specific
agenda.
agenda each year. And so like this last year was renewable energy. And, then so it's pretty specific.
So
It's
this
not
is for
just
our
general.
district, so our,
For E EOCA.
so what if we put $1,000 in and I'll
1,000.
commit to going the first year and see what it's like?
Yeah.
Because you've not gone.
I've tried to go every time there's been some catastrophe, like
And beyond the other stuff, just the subjects each year, I'm like,
the,
So
but
who
it may
determines
apply
that?
for-
EOCA?
Yeah.
Okay.
the first year when it was going on, we were over in LeGrand talking to hospital after our birthing center closed this year. We're doing fire stuff and did.
I don't recall it being
I-
during fire. I just saw the subject and I said, no,
I
I'm not
think-
interested. I'm just
I'm
in
trying to
the
remember
cost.
if Bruce went or not. I know he went to the OTEC one.
Yeah, but I don't think he did either.
Yeah. And the OTEC one was good. I mean, if
Mhm.
there's a way to piggyback with that, and maybe, I don't know. instead
And I
of doing
think
both-
between OTEC, they have their
Their own
agenda,
thing.
EOCA
That's
has
their own-
theirs.
Okay,
A lot of the EOCA, you'll see a lot of the commissioners and things like that at the OTEC summit. But
right.
it's kind of like OTEC is running with their own deal on that.
All right. It was good. So,
Yeah.
So I'll make a motion for the EOCA membership dues to pay 10,000 for the basic membership, 5,000 for the Blue Mountain Intergovernmental Committee, and $1,000 for the Eastern Oregon Economic Summit.
When is this due? Let me see.
September
Payment due
30th.
is September,
We're behind.
of last year.
Yeah, we're behind, evidently. So this is dated July 29th. Have we not paid these?
It sounds like it was emailed to Commissioner Alderson in July of last year, but they got a hold of me and resent it to me, so
Okay,
I'm just getting it on.
We ran it through session last year.
Apparently we
didn't
didn't because it's July 20
They're saying
2024.
you didn't pay.
Oh, well, that may be. The invoice may have got jacked out, but I'm sure we ran it through.
so do we
session
need
and
to go
the same.
back? and
I
look what they-
think before we go forward, we need to go back and see
What they did.
from this original notice last
'Cause
year
I don't
and
remember,
see
'cause
what
I
we
went-
decided on.
I made almost every commission meeting and I don't remember this coming up.
I don't either. And I would like to see if there is any minutes from that time, whether it's it'd probably be June or July, I would think. June, probably before fiscal, that I don't know. That it was sent. If there is any minutes on it, I'd like to see what we decided on monetarily.
I think it-
Because
think
we
it
could
was-
change up
I
what
think it
we
was-
just decided. I
I
mean,
think
Yeah,
it was
so
the
I'll
same.
take away my motion.
what's that?
I'll take away my motion.
Okay. Yeah, I think if we go back and really look at this, just because of that date.
Can we search minutes, like if we just go in and pull them up and can we put EOCA in there and
And at the
instead
same
of looking
time,
at all of them?
and at the same time, can we see what we did in 23? Per this.
Christina can probably, or Shannon can,
Sure.
Shannon or Christina can help me with
Yes,
this. Okay.
yeah.
I'll
See
do
what we
this.
did in 23. Did we
Okay.
pay into the summit? Did we pay the 5,000
Okay.
into the BIC? And
So, because Shannon has this little vendor number report that she can just bring.
Yeah.
up. So
yeah,
I'll ask, I'll take care of this one. I'll take this one.
okay. I mean, they
And-
waited this long.
And
It's ridiculous.
you can help me with the minutes then for the 24th, for what we did. Okay, thank you.
we don't know what minutes, because we don't know, I mean, we'll
Yeah,
have to
so
go
we'll just have
back.
to, I think we can, I think if, depending on how that we can sort.
If we
that, so-
go, if Alderson was to go back into his emails, find that from June or whenever of 24, that would actually help us.
So I'm
Um,
gonna say probably August. Let's look at August and September. and then-
Right.
No, it
we-
was due in July 2024, so it
But
had
it
to
was
be.
sent in, it was sent
due,
dated,
but
but it
I
was
think we
due
did it-
September 30th. So if we check
I think
August
we
and
did,
September.
I think we did it and the AOC membership at the same time.
So we paid our AOC dues?
Oh, yeah.
Because
We
they
would
let
hear
us,
from them
I was
right
gonna
away.
say-
Yeah.
they let me into county college, right? Okay.
Did Kim have something? Okay.
She's just,
Okay.
okay. Okay, so the next one is Turkey.
Yeah. It's actually financial reports and then Durkey.
Oh, financial reports. Okay.
Yep, so you're up.
So,
Hang on a second. I wasn't done with this. I was going back in my emails and I'm still running the meeting. I'm not seeing.
Yeah, my question is, do we have to do that now or
no, I
because
mean,
we're
it's
looking
gone
back
out.
on it
It's gone out
anyway?
that far, but I'm not seeing,
I'll just,
I'm
we'll
not
check minutes.
seeing,
We'll
I'm
just
not
check
seeing
minutes.
anything come in on the dues from last year.
Okay.
I don't see anything, just on the lobbyists and the first of the year document.
So I'm going to move to ratify the following financial reports, right?
No,
Yep,
no, give me a second.
yeah, it's financial reports.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that.
Okay, so payroll and payroll AP reports. PRC 66, APC 93, APC 94, PRC 63, PRC 65, PRC 64, AP 6, C 91. Accounts payable reports, V 45, C 90, C 82, C 88, C 86, and V 47 or V 46. We also want to approve C 92, but I have to declare conflict of interest on C 92 because my child who owns Elcon Hydraulics had a bill in there and had a payment. So I need to declare conflict of interest on C 92.
You can,
No, I was told I will do that because he,
you can declare the interest, but the financial interest to you, but you don't have any direct financial.
the conflict of interest says children.
Yep, so
And
I,
Okay,
it does. I looked it up.
so I can make that motion to
Yeah,
approve
so you can make the motion to approve those
Yeah.
reports. And I'll-
for the C92
Yeah.
only?
Yeah, so let's hold off on C 92.
Okay,
And so anyway, I'll move to approve all the others. I
okay.
just read.
I'll second.
Yeah, and then any further discussion on that? Seeing none, I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
And then so C 92.
I will make a motion to approve the accounts payable AP reports C92.
I'll second. And then, see if I guess call a vote. Any further discussion on that? Saying none, all in favor, say aye.
And I abstain.
And then you abstain.
Yep.
Okay, 2 ayes and Michelle has an abstention.
Okay, so that goes back to Heidi.
All right.
Heidi, you'll let me
OLC,
know you'll let me know how you want me to do this in the future?
Oh.
How to declare the conflict of interest. Do I have to do that every time? I do, don't I?
I think that was perfect. I mean, you let us know
Okay.
that you had a conflict and I was able to approve it.
Yeah.
So, you know,
We
make a
that's
motion
We had
to
this
approve
discussion. I
that.
went,
No, it's
Oh,
good. I
okay.
appreciate that.
OLCC liquor license, Turkey Travel is it place?
Place, it says place.
Wow, it's not Plaza?
Nope.
Oh, LLC.
I will make a motion to approve OLCC liquor license for Turkey Travel Place LLC.
I'll second it.
I have a motion and a second. Further discussion though. This did go through the sheriff's office, Heidi, and I didn't see where he clicked it on, so, okay. And he's all right with it.
Yes.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye, motion carries.
This is the same company that owns the one at Thurl Bend, right?
I
don't know that.
think
I think,
so.
I think it's the same people.
Hmm.
I think it's the same people. That's what I heard. So,
All right, commissioner update.
I have a few things to go through, topics that we weren't able to talk about. If I can bring those out, just, and reminders of things that we've touched on before
Okay.
that we haven't followed up on. So number one is that Parks property offering, or Parks offering, property offering
Pet
for,
Mountain.
no, this is the offering
Oh,
for. off
yes,
of,
yes, across from hospital.
Pocahontas.
Yeah.
And so, did you, I mean, I'm not gonna go any further on it because I don't feel that we can afford to purchase. I think it would be great for housing and put a park in there with the, name on it as he wanted, a park, but I don't think that that's
I
for
don't think that's something that the county should,
us.
business should do. And
Yeah,
I appreciate that he wants to have it to a park because he does have it looking nice.
sure.
But I don't think that that is something that the county should be into.
No, it's so, I agree with that. I don't know where you guys were at. It was just kind of hanging out there and I
Yeah.
thought, let's define.
So do we need
this
to just
definite?
send him back a note? Does Donnie need to, or you guys, or
Um,
whatever?
Donnie did,
Thought she kind of told him.
say that she, no, we're definitely not interested in Parks property and that she would take it to us.
Yeah.
So that's where it's at right now.
Okay.
If we needed to send another one, I can direct Donnie to send a follow-up on that saying commissioners have reviewed it and,
Yeah.
okay. So I
Do
will,
we know what they're asking for?
no, it did not state in this at all. And it hasn't been mentioned in any of
It's-
the emails that I've seen or anything from Donnie stating any
It's,
price.
I understand what he would like to do. It is just a kind of an awkward spot for a park, even.
There's no,
Yeah.
there's no sidewalk. It's industrial type,
Right,
and
exactly.
And it's in the urban growth boundary though, I think.
it is in the
It
urban
is.
growth boundary outside of city limits. So it is
Yeah.
county.
Where they're
But-
talking about annexation,
It-
it's so close.
it
it's
could be
probably-
in the
it's
future.
probably in the-
But even the city said,
I love the idea. I love the idea, but I just, number one, I don't have the money to do that.
okay, so I will ask Donnie to please send a reply back to them that
Okay.
she had taken it to us and that we are
Yeah.
unable to do that. Okay, so then, did we ever discuss this from Bill Lee? This was
Oh, that's when I got in trouble for.
January 10th.
I responded all on that email.
You what?
I responded all on that email,
Oh,
on the
yeah.
security camera.
Oh, you'll learn.
I'll learn. I got Bill in trouble.
So this is the recommendation for Homeland Security. Last month, I would like to add work phone and county building location as shown below in the employee user profile for those that use a phone for multi-factor authentication.
Oh, that's not the one I was thinking of.
This field is already filed or filled in. Otherwise, I will use their office phone number also shown below as the building location. None of this information is
Oh,
available outside the organization. Let me know if you have concerns before I proceed. So there's all this. Would you like it at the next work session to look at?
I did respond back to him personally on this one, and I said I was fine with what he was putting in there because it's nothing that's, I was fine with it.
I didn't
Yeah.
think that it was anything.
No.
Okay.
I mean, it's
So-
not like he's putting our cell phone numbers out there or anything like that. I mean, it's just the 8200.
So did you respond? That it was okay or it wasn't?
That's it. Either respond.
I
or
did
just
respond
call them.
individually after I got in trouble on the first one. Well, the security cameras can, so the security cameras can do.
I called him. Yeah, I called him and we talked about it and I
Was
talked
that
to
the
Heidi about it.
Is that the same subject of the sheriff upstairs hearing these
No,
cameras
that's
here?
different.
Well, they could, yes.
But
And
that's
so
a different subject.
This
It's
is
different
separate.
subject, different subject.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
there was another email from Bill and he says that they could do that. So, but,
and where are we at with that?
well, if you do that, you can't just turn it off during executive session.
Right, and we don't want that.
So I
The
think
only-
we should say no.
The only concern that they had upstairs, once I finally narrowed it down, was when we're having a meeting here, they were wondering if they could, get into the security cameras and watch it in case, the security needed to come down.
They have the Zoom.
But that's what I said, like, just get a Zoom link and watch it that way.
And I know that when they brought that up, there was an issue going on.
Yeah,
And so, but I don't think that because
and I don't think we're
the
gonna
question
be.
to Bill was, it would take a lot to
Yeah.
disengage it just for an executive
Well,
session.
and for what they're
And
asking
so-
for upstairs, it's not
What's that?
necessary.
And if you care, I mean, I'm really just here.
Yeah, no.
to Catch all that. There are more issues involved with, obtaining a conversation, versus, the security cameras that can just observe and see
Mhm.
what's happening. We can record public meetings and then we've got, we're of course catching people's likeness plus
Right.
their conversation. But, the security cameras, we can't record conversation unless we have specifically told all of the parties whose conversation is being obtained that we're obtaining their conversation. So there is this difference between when just being able to see what's happening in different parts of the building and being able to catch the
Okay.
words that are being said. So it isn't so much an issue of being able to shut it off during executive session, but just in general. I mean, our security cameras also catch some of outside, people walk by, and if we're
Okay.
catching conversation, we have to be able to tell the individual
That we
who's
did.
being observed or their conversations being obtained. We need to be able to tell them.
Did you
that's
explain that to
happening.
Bill?
I did explain it.
Okay,
to
so
Bill.
it's a done deal probably.
So,
Okay.
so anyway, we essentially went to a place where it's
Okay, perfect.
not a good idea. There really isn't a feasible way to tell the public that we're catching their conversation through video surveillance.
Yeah.
And so we're just, it needs to just, that part needs to just be done.
So do we have to tell Bill no?
No,
It's your
I-
teacher
we already-
there.
No.
We already talked about
I
it.
just wanted to confirm.
No, it
So-
wasn't.
So just
Okay.
for the record.
But that's
Okay.
good to know.
We're not
As it-
catching
like I said,
anybody's
as it turned
conversation unless
out-
we're recording a public meeting.
Okay.
And that's true in
The conversation got way more in
Thank
depth
you.
than it needed to, because all security wanted to know upstairs was what the best way to watch our meetings if something had happened. And we just
Yeah,
said, well, just do
perfect.
the Zoom link.
Yeah, so,
And-
okay.
And we decided during executive session, which are so rare, there's not gonna be a high likelihood of someone having a psychotic episode. So,
Okay, and then my last one that to follow up on, I think, is the, fire mapping. Okay, so, now we know that our assessor came in and brought that up as a concern overall for lots throughout the county. Because we see that it was, you'll have little patches here and there that are high, but then around them is medium, moderate, or low. And, so that was his take on it, was
Who was it?
countywide.
Carrie.
Our assessor, it was countywide, and, so we received this from the ODF for the Baker County on the specific, there is a specific tax lot, and it only mentions one tax lot through all of this for the county in response to the wildfire mapping.
And it's a road.
So this is a road to Greenhorn, and it is gonna stay like that. It's not gonna change. There's trees on both sides that are not owned by us, forest that is not owned by us. So there is really little mitigation that we can do or fire reduction on that one, on the actual road. And there is no reason for appeal.
Okay.
Now, if any other properties come through from this, I would think that they would have already. But just having this one come through, then maybe we're good to go on the other properties
That's
so
cool.
far.
So this was a huge discussion at County College.
I bet.
Huge discussion.
Yeah, and a huge discussion on our caucus call.
Yeah.
The other counties are definitely engaged, and for everyone to appeal. So what I am going to be looking for going forward with the wildfire map, because I have been engaged with this for the last 2 years with Holly and with emergency management, is I'm gonna see what AOC is gonna do with all of the counties. I wanna see what Owens and the caucus calls are gonna do, and what we can come up with through the whatever counties feel that they wanna appeal.
So was it on the ledge call with Owens that they talked about that they were putting in something? Okay,
Yes,
that's where it was.
one of our
Okay.
representatives is
Is
putting
putting
through
it in to
something.
repeal the whole thing.
So
Yeah.
I want to really take a look at that and follow it, and then we'll
Okay.
just join in.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I don't know if it's gonna be statewide. I mean, I look at the west side and I think they're too wet to, but then, you got Detroit and everything else that burned up. So
Yeah.
I imagine that this is not, I can't imagine this setting well with any county right now.
Oh, no, it was unanimous around the board.
And especially being that we can't, even though, and I said this in the department head meeting, Jason, Holly, they went through and specific to tax lots and things like that, groundwork that they did on identifying any of them that were in question for our county. No matter what, they were met with, well, it must be based on weather, climate, topography, and vegetation.
Yeah. So one county, and I don't remember exactly which one it was because I can't remember where they were sitting. All of their exceptions got accepted. Every one of them. And I said, we did.
Yeah, yeah,
So-
and I mean, time and time and time again, in looking, anytime the maps.
So if
came
they
through,
can,
it's-
if we can get legislation through to throw it out, so that would be good.
Yes, so I would like to just, if you hear anything, if there's anything, throw it out there
Okay.
so that I can read through it. I read through this, there's no changing it unless you appeal.
Yeah.
Nothing that you can do without appeal. That's the avenue
Okay.
that they gave us. So,
I talked to Micah over Forester yesterday,
ever where?
trying to remember now.
Department of Forestry or who?
He's Department of Forestry and or no, he's with Extension, I think.
Oh, he's the forester. Out of-
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
OSU.
That's, yeah, out of OSU. And he said that if you like, if we got another one on one of the foreclosed properties or something like that, you would still just have to do fire mitigation stuff. But as far as hardening, that is for a new build.
And if anybody does harden or, if they've already done the defensible space, or they do the defensible space moving forward and it's completed,
Why can't they be changed?
there is nothing in there saying that they will go back and change that status.
I know it.
There's nothing in there. So that has to be included in whatever our reps are going to bring forward. That has to be included in that.
So like our cabin up at Sumter, our personal family cabin, we got one, so I have to work through that. And it's like, if we have to cut the big trees down out of the yard to make a defensible space, and then 2 minutes later, they change the rule.
Yeah.
Do I get reimbursed for that?
No,
Yeah.
and that's it. So that's what is the incentive for people to do the defensible space, do all of that work, remove the trees that they don't want to remove, or do any of this if it's not going to pay off in the end and being taken off of that map as
Right.
high. If your status isn't going to change.
Are you helping Steve Edwards on his? Are you the one that's,
For the Baker Resource
Yeah,
Coalition?
yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm a member at large
Okay.
on that board.
do we need to put that on there?
Huh?
We
It's
need-
on there.
Oh, it is, okay.
Yep,
And
yep,
that's.
it was
Steve-
added.
Steve
Yep.
Edwards, okay.
Yep,
Alright.
that's the Baker Resource Coalition, and those kids work so far directly on private ownership, what WUI areas, defensible space,
They did quite a
riparian.
bit. They did a lot of,
Yeah.
Pine Creek area. last year.
Yes. And so in my first meeting and the only meeting that I've been to this month, I did stress that I would like to get Gary from the county in with them to see what they're doing on WUI, because that's what he's tasked with. And I would like to get that together so that the county, so we know what they're doing and Gary knows what they're doing. And if anybody is interested in a, Firewise community, which that when I came into office, I said, that's where I want every possible area that fits the Firewise community to become a Firewise community.
So they have the one
County.
out at Pine Creek, and that's
Oh,
what
yeah.
I was asking Jason
have
about,
one.
because there's supposed to be some funding
Yes.
and nobody's seeing it, and
So that's something for Gary
Gary's
and I've
did
heard
not.
that.
Gary didn't answer it, and so
Yep.
that's why it came to me, and so that's why I'm going to Jason. Is that the correct way to do that?
Nope, it should go to Gary. Again.
I should go to Gary
You
again.
should go to Gary directly
Okay.
and see. I have been out at the Firewise meetings with Gary and Unity, Rattlesnake and Wood Tick area for them. This is something that I'm going to go back to Gary as well with the Baker resource, and now with this and some
Okay.
other.
Somebody else
we
bringing
have
me her paper,
we
and I'll
have
just
about
bring that in.
4
Okay.
Firewise communities throughout the county right
Well,
now.
they got like $500,000, and so they're not knowing where the money is.
Yeah, so we need to figure that out. Go directly to Gary and
So
have
sit down
him
and tell the
report.
answers, my,
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, please. You need to go to him instead of, if you need to go to Jason after that, then that's fine, but go to Gary because he is tasked with that.
okay, and then, but Jason is Gary's boss. Correct?
I don't know how much of it is that he is,
Jason's over Gary.
he's over him. I don't,
Okay, all right. Because when they call, you want to follow up on it, so
yeah,
that's. so-
and for me, if they called and they said there was a disconnect there, I would go to the person that
Okay.
it's supposed to be
right.
managed through, and that's Gary.
He gave them money.
Okay. Yeah, we'll work through
Okay.
that.
All right. thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's my update. If you want to wait for calendars, then we can do that or whatever.
I just have a question on the SRS funding. I've talked to Sarah, you've met with Sarah. Do we need to do a letter from the three of us? Do we need to do just individual letters? Do we want to do
We should do
something?
one. for
So
us.
I was on a Zoom last week with Sarah, with Donnie Brulin, and with Mark Bennett. Now Mark has been, he in the past was
Kind of helping with this.
very involved with the SRS, and we are moving, we are working on, that push to Cliff Benz from the county.
So
so I
is he
will-
going to write a letter, or you
Yeah,
you can take
I
care
will
of
come
that?
up with
Don't
that.
worry about it.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Because I was going, it was another huge topic of conversation. at
Yes,
community
yeah.
college.
Because so I'm requesting a meeting with Cliff Benz,
Okay,
Mark Bennett and Sarah and I, because that's not the only thing that I'm working on.
okay,
I'm also working on some other forest,
Okay.
topics,
Okay.
issues. And one of them is one that Mark worked on in the past, and that is to to push for coordination, on the federal level for it to be written in. It is on the BLM federal
Right.
level, but not on the
Forest
forest.
Service.
And we do have coordination with the Willow Whitman right now because I evoked that last year. And we have continually done that with the Forest Service. But it's also to, if we get another element of that, not only to demand coordination so that we know before any huge project that they are in coordination with our county, which we're not getting that on everything.
Right.
Right. So the other one is to write in there the open forest. Period.
Travel
And-
management is gone, right?
Travel management is gone until the Blue Mountain Forest Plan revision comes back. They
Okay.
cannot do the travel management
Okay.
plan until the Forest Plan revision is done. If we can get in there somewhere that the Wallowa Whitman remains a open forest at the federal level, then when the plan comes about, they can't do a
Do it.
closed,
Okay.
but
Okay.
unless marked forest.
Okay.
Because what everybody is afraid of is it's going to be closed forest unless it's marked open.
Okay.
Which we are one of very few that still have an open forest.
Okay.
For cross-country travel like
Well, I
that.
just saw some stuff that was being posted. But that's dead right now, I thought. So-
Yeah, so past Commissioner Bennett and I are working on SRS and that.
all right.
Going. to
Let me know what
Cliff
you need
Benz.
me to do.
Okay,
Okay.
I
Through
certainly
Heidi.
will. Through Heidi. Through Heidi.
Or
Um,
Kim, one of the two, right?
Do you want a calendar while I'm going for it or?
Sure.
Okay, so coming up today at 1 o'clock, I have a meeting with Alora. And then I have a 5 o'clock open house,
So you're going to that?
yeah, with the Forest Service.
Okay,
Any-
I won't go there.
Anybody can, I mean,
Okay.
but I
Yeah,
it's
that's kind of
kinda
your thing, so.
down my,
Good.
yeah, and then at 6 o'clock, will be going into the Hydrogen Hub Zoom,
Oh, so that's, so you don't have to go, okay.
right, it's a Zoom. But I didn't see anything in person, but because it includes Turkey, I will be listening to that Department of Energy Hydrogen Hub, conversation. And then
When is that?
tonight at
Okay.
6. And then tomorrow, starting at 10 a.m. is Powder River TMDL with all agencies, and that is a Teams, that is not in person. So that is the first meeting. I talked to you about that before, but that is the first meeting of all agencies that have to monitor and for the bacteria. And then on Monday, DEQ placer mine comment is due, and we will, Donnie will be, as natural resource director, putting in comment on that so that the county has standing in that. And she did attend, I had another meeting, she did attend that meeting.
Okay.
And so she is well versed in that. We have EOCA that was canceled previously, and it's now on for the 28th. And
Where's?
there's,
Did we have a meeting for that?
oh wait, no, that's the EOCA.
I was
That's the
gonna say,
conference call.
conference call. at
That's the
7.
conference call, sorry.
But
But
there
we do
was-
have an EOCA meeting coming up.
But it was
so-
Zoom, right?
What?
I thought it was Zoom. I
What?
thought the EOCA meeting.
No, we don't have that notice yet. So she said this morning that it's coming up. Oh, yes, and it is probably hybrid. Did she say that this morning? She hasn't set the official, but that will be the 30th is the EOCA meeting that's coming up. But she said that she will send us an official invite as soon as she figures out Zoom. So yeah, that could be hybrid on the EOCA on the 30th, but just know that that was moved from last week to the 30th. On the 28th, besides the conference call, that is our next conference call with Owens. I have BIC meeting in John Day that I'll be traveling over to. And then we have our work session on the 29th. So that is my calendar up to the next session.
You want me to go next?
No,
Okay.
I'll jump in. See where I need to start. I've been checking in with Chastity at the health department and helping her get squared away over there, and that's going really well. I think she's.
I spent over an hour with her last week and really had a good chat.
Yeah.
And got to know her a little bit. And man, all of her ideas and everything that she has, I think are so excellent.
She seems like she's been accepted by the staff really well,
And just some of her ideas and going forward and her plans and everything are just amazing.
I need to
So
get over
if
there.
you get a chance to, it's,
See, I've worked with Chastity for years
yeah.
at the bank, so
Yeah,
So I know her
that's what
personally.
she said. She said,
I know her
"You're great."
personally,
She's
too.
like, she's great with numbers. I said, yep, it kind of seems that way so far. Sorry.
she hated it when I came, so.
I think did you meet with Peggy Brown at OTEC on the 7th?
I did not know. I went ahead and just went back and forth with her on emails and I told her, I
Oh.
said, we've got stuff that we're looking at from AOC and Owens and all of that stuff that's thrown out legislative. I said, you have your
I
energy
need to check
goals
those
and
with her.
everything for
Yeah.
what you're looking at. I said, just let us know what you need for
That's-
support or
yeah.
something that we should be aware of. That's where I'm at with Peggy.
Yeah, I need to.
Yeah,
get with her.
she came in, we sat down and went over same thing, the legislative concepts that she's been, at that point, had been told about. I'm sure they've got bill numbers now. And then the same thing, we would work back and forth, and if I saw anything that she should know, and vice versa, we'll meet up. Well, actually, I've got to meet with him this afternoon and go over some things. So I'll be out at OTEC this afternoon. I've got a meeting at 2 with Dick Haynes to talk about a situation with best friends, and he'll give me an update on that.
They really struggle with, not with money, but with working with the sheriff, working with Baker City.
Best friends?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah, they just call them and say, there's a dog. These people, like the one out of town. And so people call and they can't help. The sheriff's department can't help unless they actually see the dog attacking something. And it's a dog running it loose. or
Not just
whatever.
at large.
Well, it's the homeless people that are living across the road, comes down and gets their pigs and their dogs and or kids, and she's a single parent. And there's just some things going on that I know they're trying to clean up that property, but they just struggle with help from the sheriff's department in critical situations or, well checks and things like that. So,
Well, it depends upon the
Well,
ordinance.
is
I mean,
that-
if the ordinance is
Yeah.
Yeah.
what it is,
so anyway, so
and when they're outside of
I've talked to Helen quite a
municipality
bit.
like
I've talked to Helen Marsh quite a bit, and so. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
that. No, you're fine.
Thursday, the 16th, had prison advisory. And things are going well at the prison, new directions, they're all in one area. They were kind of spread up in two different directions over there for their mental health program. They're still transitioning into one facility on site at the prison. And I think they're still looking for volunteers to teach and run different programs, outreach things. So they're a little, after COVID, they're still looking for, somebody that they could, teach knitting. I think it's one of the things they had brought up, that there were people interested.
That's
in
awesome.
it. Yeah, so any kind of thing like that, people were interested in. And then population's been healthy out there, none of the flu or.
I love their little doggy huts. They had little Christmas wreaths on each one of them over the holidays, and that they're training
Yeah.
across the street.
Yeah. Yeah, the dog program is going really well, and then I think, and that's also Dick Haynes is involved with that. 17th, I was at Vail for the Baker County and Malheur RFPA after action review with RFPAs, and it went really, really well. They were able to get their concerns out and voice their frustrations with things. They were able to talk about the things that worked really well. And it sounds like there's a good part of participation from both sides, the BLM and the RFPA. And there were,
Which
Couple.
which RFPs were there?
now I'm trying to think.
Durkee?
There's Baker, Durkee.
Baker is the one that's the
Yeah, and then,
Curtis Jacobs.
and then, I'm trying to think of the ones out of on the Vail side. Like,
Well, I'm just concerned about the
and
one
like
out of
Monument.
Keating and Durkee were there.
They were there,
Okay.
yeah. And so, yeah, it was good. This morning I had lipstick, and that's, I can't remember what it stands for, Local Public Safety Community Coalition. And it's had a higher number of suicides last year, was a big concern, and this year's already started off with that 3, I believe, so.
Yeah, we're on number 3.
Suicide awareness and anything like that.
And that was a topic that Chastity and I went over, and that she wants to address as well.
Yeah,
I've got some stuff from Oregon State, that the address stress hotline that they're doing.
Yeah.
The information that we got was that they are getting 988 gets 0 calls in Oregon. 0 calls
Hmm.
in Oregon. Address stress hotline has already had 34
oh, okay,
for last year.
okay.
So just gonna try, and it's more, they don't want to call it a suicide hotline, but they're just calling it an address stress
Agri
hotline.
stress,
So-
yeah.
Yeah, and so
That's-
it's, so we talked a lot about that.
That was a big deal in 23.
Yeah.
And then went in and.
Yeah,
20.
And
so anyway,
that's-
I've got some,
and
I got
that's
some
one
swag I
of
was
the
gonna take
thing-
to her.
I mean, I know that because the suicide side of it is obviously is huge, but I don't think a lot of people realize that it's also set you up with resources.
Absolutely, and that's what address
find-
stress does.
Yeah, yeah. I think this year they need to focus on a little heavier on the other attributes to that.
And they do.
Yeah.
And they do. That's what, so anyway, I was gonna try and hook Chastity up with Allison that's running the address stress at Oregon State.
We've got
Just see if it, see.
To do what?
Allison Myers is running the agri-stress at OSU, and then Chastity, just get them to talk and see if they can help each other.
Meeting it.
You know, I mean, just get it out there.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's nice to have it, but then it was also created as a separate
Yeah.
deal over here with this
Yeah.
really difficult number.
Yeah.
yeah, it
You
is.
know?
But nobody's calling 980.
Yeah.
So that's anyway. We're
Yeah.
getting this swag out. So,
All right, yeah, it's January 28th is conference call, 10 a.m. I have Northeast Oregon Housing Authority Board meeting. February 10th is AOC Legislative Committee meeting and open house. And I think I've got a meeting that I have to chair over there. I've got to double check and see
When?
It's February 10th.
Yeah, that's way out. I didn't know we were going that far out on our calendars.
I'm just going, that one's the big one because I'll probably have to be out of town. So I wanted to mention that now and also give Heidi a heads up that I'm planning on heading that direction. Unless, I need to double check my other calendar, unless my deal's the 13th. I'm not 100% sure.
But for me, I think that's. I think that's the important ones that I've been to, that's noteworthy.
So trying to get my feet under me. We had county college last week, which was absolutely freaking amazing.
Because you had the first one at OSU, which is so fun.
Yeah. we got
I
to go
mean,
the
not
Wave
to
Lab.
say that the rest of them
No.
aren't, but
No, they made that comment that we
That's
get
fun.
to.
that's a fun one.
Yeah, it was good. So Heidi, we need to get together on that invoice and because we need to change that. So, oh no, this is on we get reimbursed back for my fee. So that we put in for a
Oh.
scholarship,
Oh, nice.
and so they're gonna pay for my hotel, the $900 or
Oh,
whatever,
that's so great.
whatever it is to do that. And so, yeah, we're getting money back
Oh, good.
Nice.
and meals too, right? It was meals. There was a
Yeah.
per diem, there was the hotel and
Yeah, because I saw
And the
yours.
fee.
I signed
Yeah.
your
my little $43 or
yeah your
$63.
small amount
Yeah.
yesterday.
Anyway, okay, so then, yesterday, we had the recycling, optimization, modernization one. Got to meet Steve Henry, got to meet with him, and we met with Circular Action, who was doing all of this for, the state of Oregon, and actually, but Baker County is like the first one that's going forward. We put in for a truck. There's no money expended. It
No.
doesn't look like from the county or the city at this point. We're gonna put in for 2 trucks. I think we're gonna put down for 2 trucks, expand the depot here and some collection sites around the county.
Good.
And Stephen does all the reporting. He does everything. We just have to have, we think we have to have some kind of an agreement between, we gotta have some kind of an agreement with him. And so we're working on that. We're gonna get that.
So
The funding agreement will be with Baker Sanitary,
uh-huh.
but we'll have to have the designation, what do we call it? Designated,
Yeah, I can't remember.
yeah, something about the designated, so that we know where the designated provider will be Baker Sanitary, so we just have to acknowledge that.
But what about in LaRue territory?
So LaRue is actually, it's all under Baker Sanitary, which I did not know, but they
Oh.
are, so they're putting in an extra depot out there, expanding the depot out there or something, and adding the truck and adding another recycle site out there. as well.
I think that's, because they've got LaRue has a contract for, is it halfway in Ridgeland?
Mhm.
And then there was another, like a private volunteer organization that had been doing recycling and they were,
But it's all under Baker Sanitary.
but it has to be under, LaRue has like the cooperative agreement with Baker Sanitary.
Yes, they do.
And,
Yeah.
and they're
so-
the main.
Yeah, and so trying to
recognized
figure out
sanitation.
dollar wise, if you go to Sumter, was it once a month or is it,
Yeah.
whatever time? And so they were talking about the containers, they're supplying containers, they're supplying a lot of the stuff. And they're gonna pay for transportation of the bales to go from Baker to Portland. They're gonna pay for that. So it's, it's helping them, so that hopefully they don't have to increase rates too much. So anyway, we're still in that stage of, so the final funding agreement doesn't have to be signed until the middle of March. And so we've got more things to come.
But It's moving
Yeah,
forward.
and so I
Good.
think that, yeah,
Yeah.
anyway, it's exciting.
Yeah.
So, another one, we had just a hospital steering committee meeting and there's not much to report at this time. So things are moving, but we're keeping that kind of close to our vest at this point.
Yep, you should.
So,
Yep.
and then I was gonna go to the, Forest Service thing tonight, but if you're gonna go, I may, we'll see what my schedule is like.
Probably coffee and a cookie. if you
Yeah,
don't wanna go.
Exactly.
And
And
then
then-
it's not like everybody's there for the full hour. It's
No,
just like-
yeah. So anyway, and then I am in Bend all day tomorrow. I'm gonna round trip Bend. And then, Wednesday, the 29th, I have PVAB training in the morning and then we have our work session in the afternoon. And also the 29th that night is the appreciation dinner, the OSU appreciation dinner.
I thought it said,
I think it's at 6 o'clock.
I didn't think it said dinner.
It's a dinner.
Okay, the flyer
I
that we
think, isn't it
received in
dinner?
it didn't look like dinner. I have it down in my office, but it was in the Dropbox and I looked at it
Last year it
today
was
and
the-
I thought, well, it's not a, yeah, no, look at it. I was like, oh, maybe they're doing something else. Or maybe it was a different flyer for an open house. It looked like an open house or something like
Yeah,
that.
so there have most people there and Andrew Norwood, who was with the OSU Foundation, will be there. Heidi LaQuette from the Extension Citizens Advisory Network, she'll be there. So they bring some other people in here.
And that was on the 29th.
Yeah.
Okay.
So 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, I think. And then that takes us.
Yeah, we usually don't
to the
go
first
too far
February.
into.
So that's all I've got going right now.
Okay.
And it just seems like every time you turn around, there's something else added to the calendar.
I know. There was two other things I forgot to mention. I had a fella come into the office yesterday and I was in there and he wanted to talk to somebody about the smoke shops in town selling nitrous oxide tanks for whippets.
What's a whippet?
It's a whippet is the small thing that's in your whipped cream that makes it squirt.
Okay.
You know, it's got the nitrous oxide in it,
Okay.
but you don't know that because you don't open up the can.
Right?
These are containers of nitrous oxide that are big that you can get at smoke shops so that people can do the whippet. And so I listened to him and everything. He didn't want to call back. He didn't want anything. He just said that he went in there because he heard it from his daughter that these were available. And it's just a form of getting higher, a buzz or something like that, I guess. And so he went into two of the shops here in town and sure enough, he asked about it and they said, oh yeah. And have all of these big things. And he would like to see that outlawed. And I said, but it's in the city. So actually if you guys are okay with it, I'm gonna take it to Mayor Doherty and have him
Have
and
him
his
research it.
council address it. Because there's two shops that have those available that he knows of right now, possibly three.
What do
So-
they think of next?
Whippets are way back from the 80s. I mean, I was like, whippets? I haven't heard that for like since the
I've
80s.
never even heard of that one.
So
I'm in
I'm
the shelter life.
so if you guys, I'll take it to Randy Doherty
Okay.
on that one. And then I had Tom Van Diepen come in yesterday and he talked about various topics. And one of them was when the water master, when we had that the first Wednesday and Marcy was saying how they had DEI students here and all of that stuff. And I asked, define, because I was like, surely that isn't relating to water master. And it was. With the new administration coming in, President Trump has said that part of the woke agenda, he's going to get rid of
At
DEI.
federal level. At federal
At the
level.
federal level, he's going to get rid of DEI. Van Diepen asked that the county not use any community funds on any DEI. So he said, how much did that department spend on that? Because taxpayer money shouldn't go to that. And I said, I don't know. I think it was probably a lot of time, because she said that she saddled up her horses and I don't know how much time that the staff spent with them and everything. But I'm just throwing it out there because I was an ask from one of our constituents that no county money go to DEI projects. And so, yeah, we can do whatever we want to with it, but I told them that I would ask my other two commissioners and make them aware
Okay.
of that. So if we hear of anything else or you hear of anybody else asking about it, then you'll know. It's been discussed.
You could do a resolution.
Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, it would be between the three of us, and if we don't
I
feel that
probably
it's
wouldn't.
necessary, this
I
is,
don't think it's necessary at this point.
and this is the first time that we've heard about this, that it's been addressed or anything like that. So really, I think if we keep our ears open, if anything else comes about, then we talk about it again. But
Okay.
yeah, I swear that's it.
There was a hand raised on
Oh.
mine, and then
Halfway.
I think it came up during the recycling conversation.
Oh, okay.
Shoot.
Sorry.
Again, I didn't see it. Halfway City?
Yeah, hi, it's Mayor Aspie. I just wanted to go on to the RMA stuff. Commissioner Caseberg, some of the stuff that you just talked about with CCA, regarding the recycling stuff with Baker Sanitary, is news to us, and some of our planning is kind of contingent on that information. Can we set up a time for us to have like a collaborative meeting to kind of touch base on what some of those current plans are and how they're looking, so that way it'll help us better draft what our needs are going to look like out here for our depot?
Yeah, so Gabriel was invited to the meeting and he did not join the meeting yesterday.
He said he
Um,
didn't receive a notification.
But he didn't join in.
Yeah, he didn't join
Commissioner
in.
Caseberg.
Yeah, because then he was invited to come in person if he wanted to. Stephen was going to get with him
Okay.
and update him on all of that. So Stephen's kind of taking the lead on that.
Perfect.
But if something else comes up, please contact me. If he doesn't get his answers, if he doesn't get his questions answered, please let me know.
Can you verify what email you're sending the notifications for the meetings to? I know he's had some problems with some of that in the past, but we talked briefly yesterday on some stuff, and he said that when I mentioned that there was a meeting, he said that he wasn't aware of one. So I'm wondering if maybe.
Okay, because I got it from Stephen, so I will, I don't have it with me right now because it's just my
Okay.
phone. Trying to sort through my phone is difficult.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But if you could
Hold on, let
email
me see.
that would be great.
Hold on one more time. Okay, let me see. So hold on, we had Gabriel Schmo, SCHMOE @hotmail.com.
Okay, he does have a business centered email address for LaRue specifically. That is LaRue Sanitary @outlook.com. It's LARUE Sanitary.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
At what?
@outlook.com.
Oh, at outlook.com. Okay. Okay. Yeah, because we'd send him one to the Hotmail. So that's
Mhm.
where we'd send it.
Yeah, he may not have received. I think he got locked out of that email address.
Okay. All right. I will let Stephen know as well. And see if we
Okay.
can catch, make sure that Stephen gets with him. So
Perfect.
thank you.
Thank you so much.
Uh-huh.
Thank you.
While you guys were talking, I printed the payment history on EOCAD.
Oh, look at you. Thank you.
Yes,
Yes.
please.
Yeah.
I just went back to 2021. It looks like it's been at 15,000 last year.
And you guys dropped it to 10?
So we didn't pay for the Vic then?
Yeah, and that's where I was like, I don't know.
I think we need to.
I don't know that we do.
Oh.
I really don't know that we do. Let me look into this and if we can keep it on the work session.
Okay.
Because I think I would be fine at.
I guess we need to know, what does our 5,000 get us?
Yes, and I was trying
Can
to
Paul
think
answer
about
that
that
question?
because I've been sitting on the Vic for 2 years and I'm just trying to think. Through Eastern Oregon Counties Association, I know that because through them, that 10,000 on any legal on their part that they try, I mean, as EOCA, that comes out of the 10,000. So, let me do a little bit with that with Paul
Okay.
and see, what that 5,000 actually,
Okay.
or Margaret actually could tell me,
Okay,
Craig out of, for EOCA.
okay, so it's on your calendar now. I'll take it
Yeah,
off mine.
yeah.
Okay,
So we are short for 24.
at least the
We didn't-
10,000.
Okay.
For EOCA. Big. Okay, all right, I will follow up on that one.
Well,
Well, hold on, does that show that we paid 10,000 twice?
Why does it show?
It has two different budget numbers.
Oh, did you see that it's minus plus?
Yeah, but there's,
Plus,
Those are the liability accounts to,
oh, okay, sorry, okay,
I didn't,
okay,
switching from,
okay,
yeah, it's the
From line to
101,
the next.
100.
Okay, all right.
120.
okay,
The account line for the-
all right.
all right, yep, I will follow up and report
Okay.
next Wednesday on that.
So that's, and then we need to sign these.
Okay, I will make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right.
Aye. Meeting adjourned.